The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined per usual by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and we can't forget the demented and fermented,
Wayne Baker.
And today we have traveled out to the state's capital, state of Pennsylvania, that is. If you're listening to this in another state, we are not in your capital, but we are in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We have traveled the way to get the lowdown on Boneshire Brew Works, where we are now. We've had a brief glimpse of the world of Boneshire before when we were at one of the events at Appalachian. Was that Little Big Beer Fest?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So we've got three guys at the table now. So we're going to have sort of like a rotating panel, more or less, of people that are joining us on the show. So we've got three guys that are with us right now to start off the show, and we'll get to three other gentlemen later on. But if you guys wouldn't mind introducing yourself, a familiar voice.
Alan Miller with Boneshire Brew Works. I'm the head brewer.
Ken Gramlich is right-hand man.
And
Alex Gavelovich's left-hand man.
left-hand man. All right.
Nice.
Gentlemen, thank you so much
Number
for
one
having
and
us
number two.
out. Yes. Well, yeah, guys, thanks for having us out here. It's so far I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, the atmosphere here is awesome. I love the ambient lighting, if you will, of the Christmas lights that are up there. I guess they're probably not exactly
they're
Christmas
lights
lights,
on
but
strings,
lights
so.
on strings that are reminiscent of Christmas lights, I suppose.
I like the backlit fermenters.
Yes, we can't forget those
That's
too.
pretty awesome.
I did actually notice that too. I wanted to bring it up. And we have sipping beer.
We do.
What are we sipping on? I've been told it's something I will enjoy and desperately need.
This is the bourbon barrel aged Lazarus with cinnamon.
Oh.
It's a very cinnamon toast crunch
I
like.
don't think we've ever done a 10.5% sipping beer.
This is a
Yes.
sipping beer.
Well,
It
is a
smells
sipping
amazing.
This is
beer
what
for
we
sure.
should always be doing for sipping beers. This is delicious.
Oh,
I really like
oh,
this. Yeah.
You
Wow.
weren't kidding when you said
Yeah.
cinnamon toast crunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, with bourbon.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
It's like a
This is definitely a sipping beer.
bourbon instead of milk. Just eat it.
The breakfast of champions.
Exactly. This is delicious.
Now, Lazarus, of course, is your Russian Imperial Stout.
Right,
You do many variants
We do.
of this beer,
we do,
correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that's why the RIS is capitalized.
ding, ding,
correct.
ding. So what are some of the other variants?
Tiramisu,
What?
cherry chocolate, coconut, which is like the crowd favorite. So if we don't do that again, this is going to be a riot.
You get a
Orange
hint of
chocolate.
coconut in this.
You do,
Ooh,
yeah, you
orange
do.
chocolates.
That sounds
We
good.
did the orange chocolate, like the orange chocolate candies you get at Christmas time.
Like a bloody moose.
Yes, like
Right
a bloody
over.
moose.
Straight coffee. That one's always a big hit too.
That sounds really good.
Well, you're
Peanut
starting
butter.
us off,
Peanut
right?
butter, yeah.
Oh, peanut butter.
What?
Everybody loves peanut butter.
So if you did peanut butter, how did you add the peanut butter? Was it powder? Was it legit peanut butter? Was it...
We cheated.
Okay, no problem.
We used
extract. Why
Extract,
not?
hey,
you got a good
whatever
flavor.
works, man.
We didn't. I've tried powder before, and we just didn't like the flavor. And we were doing one off, so it was just as easy to do it in one keg.
I kind of feel like the powder gives you like almost like an instant drink mix kind
Sure.
of peanut
Yeah,
butter
no, I
character
agree with
rather
that.
than like I think the extract.
Freeze-dried
To be
peanut
honest,
butter.
that was like the least favorite of all of them.
Oh, really?
And it just was kind of nondescript. It came through, but it just wasn't as strong as you'd like. But the coconut was my favorite. So.
I don't
That
know.
and the tiramisu.
I
was
really
pretty
approve
good.
of this one.
Yeah, this is really good.
Because you get a subtle
Yeah.
coconut flavor, but sometimes I feel like coconut leaves a really sweet aftertaste.
It could, yeah.
But the cinnamon really balances that flavor out.
Cinnamon's hard to brew with sometimes because you can easily overpower it, and it's mellowed out a lot. So I mean, this beer is aged nicely. We actually have, for you that are listening, we have 1/6 of it saved. We're going to actually tap it for our 1-year anniversary next year.
Oh.
So
Oh, nice. That'll be cool.
Yep, and we actually have also a Brett aged, bourbon barrel aged Brett version of that
What?
set aside too.
This is like the most versatile imperial stout ever
I
made.
know.
Like you've done so much with it. That's so awesome.
It's not over the top roasty. It's got a nice mellow roast to it, so it doesn't clash with a lot of the flavors. So it kind of lends itself to being able to mix it with a lot of different things. And I worked really, really hard on trying to develop the recipe so where it would work well like that. So
And I've had the base Lazarus
Right,
a few times,
right.
and it is a solid Russian Imperial Stout. So,
yeah.
the base beer is there. It's delicious.
Yeah, and you can tell like it's not competing with the other things that you've done with this. I'm curious, how long was this in barrels?
almost a year, and they were actually
okay.
10-gallon barrels too. So
Oh,
Ooh,
so
nice.
a lot of
Way
surface
too
area. Yeah.
but So it's full blown, like, we didn't cut it or anything like that. So the actual, it's kind of funny that it's kind of taken on its own little character. But Lazarus is actually, the original Lazarus beer was a cinnamon, chocolate, coffee.
Didn't it have peppers in too?
Habaneros.
Habaneros, that's what it was.
Am I forgetting something?
And that's what you brought to Little Big Beer Fest, right?
Yep. Yes. And
I remember beers with chilies. Come on.
so,
Of course you do.
Right. So this spring, I'm actually already started on it. We're growing habaneros. So we're going to grow all of our own habaneros.
Oh, cool.
So we've
Steph's dancing in her
Doing
chair
my
at that
happy
thought.
dance.
habaneros are like, oh man,
They're my favorite pepper to
God.
brew with.
Yeah, same here. But
Nice.
Cool. Well, I like the way the cinnamon worked in this for sure.
Yeah,
and,
this is really good.
I don't necessarily condone the use of peppers in everything, but I seem to remember that being really good.
It can work.
We had some great pepper beers at Little Big
That
Beer
is
Fest,
true.
just
That is true. Well, before we get into the news, I, of course, want to thank Audible for their continuing and somewhat confusing support with all the ways I have messed up promoting them.
I'm surprised they haven't hired you to do all their spots.
They should. They really should. But for those who are not in the know, you can head over to audibletrial.com/beerbuster. Sign up for your free 30-day trial of your own Audible account. You don't have to leech off your brothers anymore. You can peruse the listings. You get to, there's a lot that are on there.
Was he trying to say something?
I don't know. I don't have an Audible.
No,
I mean,
I
yes,
know.
I do, and I love it.
But you get to choose really any book that's released nowadays. There's an audio version of it. Because let's face it, you're busy. You don't have time to actually page through something on your own and read the words.
Rest your eyes.
Rest
Yes.
your eyes, but not your ears.
Yes, and while you're at it, you can go to patreon.com/beerbusters and sign up to become a Beer Busters patron and help support the show. Donate as little as $1 a month and get cool behind-the-scenes perks and perhaps exclusive VIP invites.
Yes, our patrons
to
are getting a secret
Beer
invite.
Busters events that nobody else will get. So, patreon.com/beerbusters. On with the news.
On with the news, as Wayne has so decreed. All right, so there's a couple things that I wanted to bring up. Steph, or I believe it was you, Steph, you posted something on our Facebook about Guinness.
I certainly did.
Recently.
And Baltimore.
And Baltimore, yes. So, Diageo, the parent company of Guinness, has announced its intention to build a U.S. version of Dublin's popular Guinness Open Gate Brewery. That's going to be in Baltimore County in Maryland. So it's currently planned the company would build a mid-sized Guinness brewery and a Guinness visitor experience with an innovation microbrewery at the company's existing Relay, Maryland site. The new brewery would be a home for new Guinness beers created for the U.S. market, while the iconic stout that we know will continue to be brewed at the St. James location in Dublin. Visitors would be able to tour the working brewery, sample experimental beers brewed on site at the tap room, and
Experimental Guinness beers?
I know,
right?
that really
kind of
piqued my interest.
exciting.
I know. And you can purchase, of course, Guinness
After
merchandise.
175 years, we're starting to take
Yeah.
chances.
Well, they have. So no, in the U.S. we have the Guinness Blonde. They also tried a Nitro IPA at one point. I was not a super fan of it, but I
didn't
was
try it.
impressed at what they pulled off, considering they're known for the stout.
I have a very important question.
Okay.
At the Guinness in Dublin,
Yes.
you can be taught how to properly pour
Oh,
a
yes.
Guinness and get like a big certificate saying that you can do that.
Right.
Can you do that in Baltimore?
So far,
or is that only for Ireland?
I don't think you should.
Oh, come on
So
now.
far, the press release has not mentioned that. However,
you got to go to Dublin to learn to the
I'd be
proper
surprised
pour.
considering.
Well, they can put an asterisk like did in America. I mean,
like was on steroids.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah.
but I still want to learn.
Considering they're going to keep the production of the stout over in Ireland, I would imagine something like that is going to be there. I mean, you might be able to get certified that you can pour the Nitro IPA, properly.
Oh, there you go.
That would be totally American.
Yeah, it would,
You
absolutely.
can get certified to pour the stout in Ireland and pour the Nitro IPA in America.
In America.
Yes.
That would make
Perfect.
sense. Yeah, that does make sense.
Opening a Guinness Brewery and Visitor Center in the U.S. will enable us to collaborate with fellow brewers and interact with the vibrant community of beer drinkers, stated Tom Day, who is president of Diageo Beer Company USA. The project is going to reestablish a Guinness brewery in the U.S. after 63 years of absence. I didn't get that reference. I guess they had a production facility in the U.S. 64 years ago.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, this just said it and didn't bring any
That was before
points
my
about
time.
that. Well, yeah.
That was made in Canada.
Was it?
I thought so.
Well, I guess this is maybe all of North America then.
maybe.
The new brewery and visitor center would become part of the production facility at the Relay site of the historic Calvert Distillery, which opened in 1933. Relay was chosen as the preferred location for several reasons, including the site's proximity to major East Coast tourist and population hubs, availability of skilled employees, and space to build and adapt existing structures on the property. It's going to create a bunch of jobs in brewing, a bunch more in packaging, warehouse jobs. And Diageo hopes to receive approvals to begin construction this spring of 2017 with the goal of opening the brewery this fall to mark the 200th anniversary of Guinness. But if it's already it's an existing facility, so they don't really have to build, they have to renovate.
Okay.
But they want to open it to mark the 200th anniversary of Guinness first being imported to the U.S.
I am excited about this, I have to say. I am definitely going to go visit.
Yeah. I would like to go as well. One of my things on my bucket list is the one in Dublin to get to St. James.
Yes.
I hear you.
That would be amazing.
It's even. I don't drink Guinness as much as I used to, but it's still something I need to do.
I just want to go over there for the beer and the scotch. And
well, of course, there's so much else that's
the
over there.
landscape.
No, just the beer and the scotch.
The landscape
just beer and
is
scotch,
beautiful.
which will make the landscape seem so much better then too.
We can take International
beer and
Trevor,
scotch.
and he can give us a personal tour.
That's true.
There you
We
go.
could. So Trevor, we're kidnapping you and going
Trevor.
to. I don't have the clip today.
Well, he just did the clip for you.
He did,
so it's
that's
all
true.
good.
I'm going to perform. So we are limited because our soundboard was left at home. So we're limited in
You
our
could
sound
have just
clips
said
today.
technical difficulties.
So technical difficulties, or we forgot it. So any sound clips we need that we
After
don't have,
108 episodes.
I am going to perform
We forget
live.
shit.
So
Nice.
here
I'm
we
excited. We might never need the soundboard again.
So I've got two others.
Yes! Good job.
Well done. Two other quick stories. They're more so beer releases, and the first one I really like because we have a baseball bat at the table.
we do.
And
we had of course we have the
Thor's hammer.
We have Mjolnir. So when we were at Canal Street Brewphoria, why could I not think of that word? We had on a gentleman from Terrapin who gave us the heads up about another Walking Dead collaboration. It's official. So last year, Terrapin Beer Company and Skybound, they collaborated to re-release the Walking Dead Blood Orange IPA in 6-pack cans, but they realized one beer was not enough to satisfy, so they have raised the stakes and they've added a second, more limited edition brew to the project, which is inspired by everyone's favorite villain, Negan, and his lovely
Lucille.
baseball bat, Lucille.
Yep.
Terrapin Beer Company and Skybound's super limited release is sure to be a hit. Lucille is going to be a blackstrap molasses stout, and it will be released in 500 milliliter bottles with a label that does the barbed wire wrapped bat justice.
Nice.
will it be actual barbed wire?
I think that would be a problem.
That would be awesome.
It would be.
If the bottles had like barbed wire around the neck,
like plastic barbed wire,
cool.
like
or no, like
decorative.
actual, like
No.
you go to grab
No,
it and
you could do plastic.
stab
Well,
yourself and bleed.
I remember he said the mock-up for the tap handle was Lucille with the barbed wire.
Yeah.
They had a picture of the label for it. It's, as you would imagine, all barbed wire, which I'm sure we can get on the website with the episode. But I'm excited for that one. The Blood Orange IPA was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. And I'm really looking forward to what this will be, especially from Terrapin when they're known more for their IPAs and their ales, to go into a molasses stout. I'm interested to see what happens with this.
Oh, they're known for their stouts too.
Are they
make
really?
some
I've
pretty
only ever
crazy
come across their IPAs, and might only have been IPAs.
You need to look harder.
I don't know. Maybe I do.
Dig deeper.
And last,
There's another weapon on the table, by the way.
is there now?
Random accoutrements.
Oh my God, we're all gonna die. And finally, the other beer release I wanted to bring up. One of Richmond's beloved breweries has unveiled.
Is this the Oreo cookie
It
one?
is.
Yeah.
I see what you did.
It
there.
is called Hornswogler. It's a 7% ABV chocolate milk stout fermented on hundreds of pounds of classic Oreos. It was released in late January and was limited to about 80 cases and sold out instantly, but they are still promoting that it is on tap at the brewery in Richmond, Virginia.
Let's go.
I am all
Joe
for
Man. Joe Man.
that. You know
meet
what
us
you got to
there.
do, buddy.
Yep.
Currently, they have not announced any plans to brew anymore or use other variations of Oreos in the future. I personally...
It's a great beer even without the Oreos.
I
I've
don't
never
doubt
had
that.
the Oreo version. But
I'm hoping they do a red velvet version.
I was just going to say that. And was it Fruity Pebbles?
No.
Oreos?
Fruity Pebbles.
I'm on it, man. I'm
You're
on
hired.
it.
You are. If that's the only reason you wanted to say it, I'm fine with that. Well, that is all that I had in the world of news there. I'm sure is more to come down the road, but I want to get back to the topic at hand. That is Boneshire.
The men and their weapons.
The men and their weapons. I mean, we have 3 guys at the table and 3 weapons, although Steph is guarding one of them.
Yeah, the hammer's mine tonight.
As long as you're okay with just tonight. So
I don't think Alan will let me walk out the door
Probably
with it.
not.
He'll fight me.
It's my baby
Bo
right
and
now.
Luke will
Not
come
gonna
after
lie.
me. Right.
So was that was 2016's Little Big Beer Fest, and you were there, and we had the beer that we were talking about earlier.
Lazarus.
Thank you. When did you guys officially open then? Because if I remember right, you guys were still working on opening.
We
then.
were. October 29th was our official. Well, it was our soft opening, but it must have been our official opening. But then the week later was our first official opening. So we went almost 4 months now.
Wow.
Three and a half anyway. Yeah.
It feels like it's been longer. You walk in here, it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a brewery that's only been open 4 months.
It's been a blur.
Yeah, well, but it's been a long time coming.
It has.
And opening any brewery, of course.
We've been
is.
working at it for a while. We started out almost 2 years ago. Crazy.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Wow. So we started out 2 years ago. I had worked on trying to gather up, I guess, my posse, if you want to call it that. People that could play roles in the brewery, and also were family, friends, people that I could trust, that I knew that were going to be full in, and we've worked at it a long time. One of our biggest challenges were finding the right spot and finding the right place, and I think we did. I think we found the right place and the right spot for us. It reflects us very well. You walk in, it's it's rough. It's not perfect. We're not perfect. We're rough too. Well, Ken's rough.
Perhaps the roughest.
He's got a smooth head, though.
It's rough, but it's comfortable in here. You have,
It is.
a very
Much like
casual, laid-back
It is.
I
vibe.
thought you were talking about his head
So
at
did
first.
I.
I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
A few seconds over.
You have the huge Boneshire logo on the wall that catches your attention. You have the nice wooden bar. There's, the TVs here, and I hear there's a possibility of dart tournaments in the future or something. I told that guy over there I would mention that. There's some people in the audience today that want to see some dart tournaments here, apparently. So.
Don't know how well darts with you see.
I don't know about darts, but we've talked about chess tournaments. We have a bunch of avid chess players who come in here and drink beer during the week
Nice.
regularly.
Really?
Yes. And they'll play chess on their phones, and they'll sit down, and if it's a slow night, they'll grab the chessboard and challenge the bartender.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's actually pretty good at it, too.
Right.
Wow.
If you're ever here and it's not busy and Sean's tending bar, you can definitely challenge him to a game of chess.
Yep.
And then if you win, does he buy your drink?
I don't know. That's something.
Honest to God, I don't know if he's ever lost.
Yeah.
Although him and I'm super ultra competitive, and I hate losing at chess. And one night, I was working here too late, and I was playing, and it ended up being about 11 o'clock when we quit. And I did not lose, and he did not win, so it ended in a draw.
I
It was
can witness that.
interesting.
Yes.
Very cool. So maybe not darts, but what does
Jenga.
the
Jenga.
giant Jenga is even better.
Right.
What are the kind of immediate future plans for the new stuff, and what's your long-term goal for the brewery?
We're still trying to get things rolled out. We're still kind of new in the game, but we want to roll out our Mug Club membership. We're working on that. We're also going to be doing a Growler Club membership, where we have a ton of people that live close by that, they have young kids, and, they want to be able to drink our beer and be responsible, so they'll come in, grab a growler, go home. So we do sell a lot of growlers, and so we want to do that. We're actually hopefully going to get a growler machine sooner than later.
Nice.
I think every brewery should have a growler machine.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I'm on board that
Every
train now.
brewery.
There's only a little waiting list, but
It's worth it.
right.
They're
it is.
amazing.
So we've got a lot of plans, at least in the near term. A lot of experimental beers. Every week we're trying to do test batch beers on our smaller system. We have a couple guys that are helping us out with that.
That's the Piglet series.
Yes, the Piglet series.
Nice.
Small batch
series.
series.
I see what you did there.
Right.
Nice. Well,
We struggled for a long time, and we wanted, everybody wants to kind of try to be original, right? So scratch is just not going to cut it for us. So the Piglet, it took us literally 3 months to figure out what the hell to come up with.
It's so perfect, though. It's
Right.
so
That
perfect.
is pretty good. Well, let's jump from the future to the past, because I know you got had a couple of hurdles in getting open here.
We did. One of the things that most people don't realize when you open a brewery, you just don't open a brewery anywhere. You can't just say, I stick a stick in the ground, and that's where we're going to open our brewery. So, we had a lot of township hurdles where, we had to go through a zoning hearing board meeting. We had to get approval for that. Some of the other issues, just in general, we're very self-sufficient group, so maybe stubborn. So we've done a lot of things on our own.
Not us, ever.
No.
We've never butt heads.
My name
Alex.
was Thick-Headed Dutchman. That's all my mom called me.
I'm starting to see why there's so many weapons in the building.
And it has never gotten physical. Wait a minute. One time.
One time.
Really?
Yeah, poinsettias, they get in the way sometimes.
Oh, well, yeah. Nobody needs them.
Fucking poinsettias. Yeah.
So, no.
They're poisonous to cats and brewers.
Yes.
So we spent a lot of time doing things that we weren't not accustomed to, but not afraid to do.
Things
grinding
we've never
concrete.
tried before. Like
Grinding,
when you're remodeling a brewery and the floor is covered in stuff that needs to come up, you're like, how the hell do you get it off? Well, you try different things until it works.
Until something
And
works, yeah.
If you go on our webpage, you see a big-ass dude with a cigar and a concrete grinding machine pissed off as hell. And that'd be me. So, yeah.
But you got it done.
10, 11 o'clock at night, drinking 4 beers.
1 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning, waking up the next day, going to work.
So
doing
what's
it
the
again.
chain of command here when something goes wrong? Like there's 6 of you, and you all seem very hands-on. Although I don't know, I'm a little suspicious of 9 Inch Nails in the sweater. He doesn't look like he gets too dirty.
Shit don't go wrong here.
Good answer. I know you're
we
lying.
got everything under control. It's funny. When things go wrong, it's usually, all right, who's supposed to do that? I don't know. I thought you were doing it. No, I thought you were doing it. And it was like,
All right, well,
oops,
shit, who
we
can do
forgot
it now?
that.
Who can we blame?
No, we don't. We try not to blame. I mean, look, we're all, we all make mistakes. I'm made many of them, many of them. So what usually happens is, you just, hey, you blow your stack, get mad for a couple minutes, and then move on. And there's plenty of opportunity to make mistakes in this business. And the critical thing for us is it's the beer. That's what matters to us. And what matters is we work hard to make that the best that we can and keep making it better and better and better. We've got a lot of good stuff out right now, and typically that's all that matters to us. If something goes wrong, so be it. I mean, one of the first 2 days ago, the first time we've ever had to deal with somebody being sick. The schedule's plodding along real easy and no problems with people bartending, then all of a sudden I get a phone call from Alex, and it's, oh boy, he's sick. What do we do? I don't know. Send a text message maybe we can find somebody. And we all have our own role, and we all are busy trying to make everything work and stay afloat, and so none of us have run a brewery before, and at least at this scale, and this is kind of learning on the way. And we're not your typical operation. If something goes wrong, we work our way through it, and we rely a lot on our staff. That's they're the face of our operation every day, and so when things they're always kind of got the eyes on the prize, and if something goes wrong, they're usually telling us, and we figure out how to deal with it.
No, it has to make for an interesting dynamic, though, having 6 owners. Like, in
It's
some
actually
ways,
12.
I can see...
12 owners.
Oh, my gosh. So this is only half of you here tonight.
We're only allowed to have 6 in the podcast.
Oh, my
There's
God.
Twice as many as you're going
So,
to meet
I
this
mean,
evening.
in a good way, lots of people, lots of ideas, more money, but there's also the too many cooks in the kitchen kind of
Well,
thing. How is that dynamic between the 12 of you? Holy crap.
I mean, from my perspective, these guys will have a different perspective, I'm sure of it, but the way it's set up is that, at least from the brew house side, what I say goes. I mean, to be honest, that's what you have to do.
You have to have somebody in a position where, you are the law. Okay.
Well, it's. I'm not sitting here and hammering on the table and saying,
No,
you have to listen
because
to me.
I have the
Right,
power.
you have
It
to.
depends on the day. Depends on the day.
Yeah, fair enough.
I listen. They may not think I do, but I do. And
Is that true?
Yeah, there are times where we'll butt heads, and then one of us will walk away, or the 3 of us sitting here, usually are the three that butt heads the most, and we'll walk away and we'll come back and go, hey, you know what? Here's why your reason sucked, and you go, okay, and then sometimes we'll come back and go, you know, you had a good point. Let's think about it.
So in the brew house, he's the man. I'm retired, so I'm able to help him during the week brewing beer, and that's when he does it. So it's like get 10 bags of this grain, 10 bags of that, you know, stack them up, 6 of this, whatever, and I stack them, open them up, hand them up. He does the mashing. I handle his hose. Hoses. And his pump, you know.
It's an ample hose.
So I help him that way, and it's like, he knows it. I don't even homebrew or anything. It's like, I just love helping him.
So you're kind of like the Rich to Steph when she homebrews.
That's so true. I don't know. I make Rich do a lot, though.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, how often then? So it's pretty much. Is it just mostly the two of you doing the actual brewing then?
For our big batches, typically, yeah.
How often do you guys brew then?
About once a week. There are times when we've done it where we've done
twice
a week.
But usually once a week.
That's the goal, at least right now. Once we get some more cooperage, we'll start ramping up. We're going to start wholesaling, and then that'll increase the frequency and it's one of those things where you just, like I was saying, you dealing with the schedule and trying to project things out, and Valentine's Day is coming up soon. The chocolate cherry stout that you do is really good. Crap, I forgot about that. We needed to brew that 2 weeks ago, to make it work.
Can we turn back time?
Note for next year.
Who's in charge of that?
Right, exactly. So
no, I'm definitely pushing it for that this year.
Yeah.
We can do that still.
Figure it out.
So, and then as far as like the recipe development, is that pretty much all you?
Yeah, for the most part, it's been me. We do actually have a couple other guys, Carson Book, and he's helped out a lot. He's doing some small batch stuff, and then Carl Larson is one of our other guys who helps out.
We had Carl on the show too.
Yes.
So we also had Jeremy Nyes, another guy that helps out. He's actually one of our bartenders that loves the homebrew, and so me, Jeremy, and Carl are doing a beer for Little Big Beer Festival. I'm not going to say what it is. It's their secret, so I'll let them spill the beans.
You can tell us off air, right?
Yes, I can. The majority of the recipes are mine through trial and error in homebrewing years ago, and also trial and error through Milbach. I've learned what works, what doesn't work, at least with our recipes, and so on and so forth, yeah.
Now talk about your system for a moment while we have you at the table, the official brewer here. It's quite a unique setup you have.
Sure, it is. So, one of the things that I learned and is that you gotta plan for now and plan for the future. It's kind of hard to do, but we did. Our kettle is actually a 15-barrel kettle. It's kind of the heartbeat of the operation. We have a mash tun that was altered that allows us to do 15-barrel batches when we grow, and then our fermenters are all 10-barrel. So, but we actually, it's funny, we actually can do as small as 5-barrel batches and up to 15. So we have a lot of flexibility in what we want to do. It's plug and play. Everything is been built for a purpose. We're our mash tun is actually an old dairy tank from a farm in Millersburg, which we had altered on several occasions. It's a bear to clean out.
The sign on the cooler that says we use Girton milk tank.
Yeah,
nice.
They were actually made in Millville, PA, which is north of here, along the river.
So if you've ever been to the farm show and you go to the cow barn and you see where all they have to milk their cows while they're there, or the cows are going to be in pain. When they go and they do their milking, they put all their stuff in a Girton milk tank, and you can see that Girton milk tank, or a larger version of what we have, in the window where they put all their milk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
There's
milk tank.
no milk in it now, though.
No milk.
You also have a smaller your piglet system.
We do. Well. We have a Sabco based system that we do 10-barrel batch, 10-gallon batches on. That's
quite the test system.
Yeah, right. 10-barrel test. Well, there are breweries out there that have 10-barrel tests.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we try. Our goal is to do and roll out a small batch beer every week. That's been a challenge so far, trying to work with everybody's schedule, and part of the challenge is I still work part-time at another job, and so trying to make sure I'm here, hey, I need this ingredient, I need that. I mean, the guys that are brewing for us aren't here all the time, so they don't know where everything is, so I try to help where I can. But
the other thing that kind of sucks is every single one of us, with the exception of Ken, I think it is either working a full or a part-time schedule, and then we come here and do this when we're done with our regular job, and we spend a lot of hours working, whether it be for somebody else or for us. So.
Right? Yeah.
It's definitely got to be a passion to get into
definitely
this
is.
industry.
So many breweries, I mean, that we've been to, young breweries, it's the same, like the brewer, the owners. I'm still working a full-time job. I come here at night, I come here on the weekends, and, you really got to want it.
Well, and that's what separates, you come in here, Steph said it earlier, that's, what you see in here is a direct reflection of us and our passion for what we do. I mean, that's, we wear our hearts on our sleeves. We do and eat, sleep, drink, literally what we do. And I don't know. It's definitely a labor of love. People. Our customers come in and they ask us, well, how did this happen? How did that happen? I mean, they ask the stories and we tell them. And we're honest people. We don't sugarcoat anything. We kind of just say it how it is. We're not. We tell them, it wasn't fun work until 2 o'clock in the morning. But I'll be honest with you, those are the memories that I won't. Those are the memories that I'll have forever. Yeah. Whether this works out or not, I'll not forget that stuff.
I think it was harder working all Saturday long than it was working after work, coming in here with 2 or 3 of us just focusing on one thing from like 8 o'clock at night until 2 in the morning. Smoking a cigar, drinking a beer. That's usually when the fun fight started. Where
3 or 4 beers.
Somebody would kick mud on somebody or throw something at something, and then we just start goofing off.
Right.
But we had fun.
Right.
And the other thing that helped us get through this was our families. Our families,
absolutely,
were amazing. I mean, I have 2 kids and a wife, and without them, I guess I got to have the wife to have 2 kids.
Well, necessarily.
They're awesome, and my wife has supported us and me so much, and she's taking care of the kids while I was like, I got to go to the brewery. I come home, she goes, what time did you get home? I said, 2 in the morning. Because it's usually when she's nudging me on the shoulder going, get your ass out of bed, you got to go to work.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, damn, what time is it? She goes, 6 o'clock. I was like, I just went to sleep 4 hours ago.
Yeah,
that's a rough lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I noticed while we were setting up, Alan, you especially, you were socializing.
Sure.
You were talking at the bar. You were over at the table. You were by the ledge here. I mean, you have a smile on your face. So no matter how many hours you work, no matter how stressful it was, you can tell that you're happy to be here. You're happy to be a part of this community here, and the passion definitely shows.
There's definitely, there isn't a single one of us here that, we all love what we're doing. There's no doubt. My dream, my goal has always been able to do this, full time. I've spent a lot of time, finances and trying to come up with the money and trying to come up with the equipment and, trying to find all the things that make a brewery what it is. And, I guess the name is now everybody can make beer, but can people make it all work together? Can you make good beer? Can you run a viable business? Can you pay your employees? Can you pay the taxes? Can you pay this? Can you pay that? And to be honest, there's just no way I can do that all without having all the help that I've got, and everybody, you got 80 million balls in the air you're juggling, and you're trying to figure out how the hell you're going to do it all, and you just dump it on somebody and say, hey, figure this out. I don't know how to do it. Can you do it? And then 2 days later, it's done.
Like I told him, I have less skin in the game than the other investors, but I'm here. My dream is to make his dream come true for him.
That's awesome to hear. And I like that you're an investor that also participates in the business.
Well, Ken keeps saying investor, and I can't keep him to stop saying it. He has as much skin in the game as anybody else. He just doesn't know it. Literally skin in the game.
Wow. I used to work at a radio station that dealt with businesses and new businesses and angel investing and, getting your Series A and your Series B and everything. And every investor I've ever talked to was totally hands off. It's just, here's your money. I want my return then. So I love that you put forth the money, but you have a hand in helping it brew. And that pilot system you have, do you get to do anything on that then too, Ken?
Like I told Alan, I'm not a brewer. I don't want to learn to brew.
Okay, all right.
I like drinking his beer and helping him whatever way I can.
I totally respect
I wash
that.
kegs. Like I said, I'm his hose handler and all sorts of stuff
Ken's
like
a
that.
resident
I
tester.
Clean,
Resident tester.
Yeah.
Is that like on your business card? Resident tester and hose handler.
It should be. It should be.
Yeah, and I think
There
that's
you
what his
go.
new business card is.
Yep.
I like that.
Write
That's a
that
great
down.
title.
But I'm sure at the very least, as a beer drinker and somebody who is the unofficial tester, I guess like putting forth constructive criticism about it too is something that comes, I guess, from everybody then too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is, your best friends are sometimes your worst enemy when
Oh.
they're critiquing your beer.
Yeah.
And I get mad when they don't tell me the truth, and I know when they're not telling me the truth. They think they're fooling me, but I know.
Oh, it's so good.
Right. And you can see it in their eyes. And so you can't always get that, though, and I get mad. I said, listen, I want your honest opinion, because if you can't give me your honest opinion, we can't get better. We can't keep doing what we're good at. And or getting better at what we're good at. And so Ken specifically, he'll sit there and say, no, this isn't good. And we've dumped one batch already, and it was just not up to standards. It was not what we wanted, and
There's something big in
sucked.
being able to recognize that too,
Yeah.
and to be able to put that down the drain.
Yep. It made me mad. I mean, like I said, I'm very competitive, and I hate that, and I hate dumping something down the drain that's not what I want it to be. But there isn't a guy here or a woman here that will sit here and say that, that's not the way you should do business. I mean, you gotta be smart about it, and So these guys have been very critical at making, at least being critical of the beer. They're integral in that, and so the beer doesn't go on without at least 3 different people trying it first and saying, "This is what I expected. This isn't what I expected." So it's an important process for us. It's our last level of QC.
Well, we're 3 people, and we can be critical,
Yeah.
and I'm ready for more beer. So we can keep talking, but
Yeah.
Sure.
do you think maybe I
You
could
think it's-
be
you
the
think it's
producer
time?
and transition
I-
here and get some more beer in front
Yeah.
of us?
Let's beer. Let's beer.
Let's beer.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
So that rotating panel that I mentioned earlier, it's rotated. So we've got 3 new guys at the table, and now this officially means we have half of the owners on the show. I guess we'll come back for the other half. But the guys that are here at the table, we have to, of course, get to know them. So we have, starting off with 9 Inch Nails.
Good evening. I'm Andy Enders.
And what do you do here at Boneshire?
Stay out of the way.
Fair enough.
That's
I
why he's the
respect that
nicest
answer.
dressed one.
Yes,
I mean,
true.
Alan calls me if there's a legal problem, and that's about it. Other than that,
Hey, you're an important
problem.
guy to have on the team.
Of course. And, of course, then we have...
Tim Klinger,
And,
and I pretty much just pour drinks when they need a backup.
Klinger the Slinger.
So they call
Yeah.
call you.
There you go.
We call Andy when we have a legal problem. Call Tim when you have a drinking problem.
of course. And last, but certainly not least...
Carson Book, and I'm not sure why you call me. I tend bar here. I like to have fun. I like to make my face known and be friendly to people when they come in. I also try to pretend to brew, but I'm not as good as Alan.
Try to pretend to brew. Not pretend to try, but try to pretend.
And we also learned a little bit before we officially started recording this segment of the podcast that you also, Carson, occasionally come in and just run the whole place by yourself.
I do. On Sundays, I run the place by myself. And
So come in and order 50 growlers.
Yeah. You come in and swamp me with some growlers, and I'm kicking kegs, and I'm having a problem on a Sunday. So.
Not coincidentally, we have to be closed Monday and Tuesday to clean up whatever was done on Sundays.
Yes, I have made a mess in the walk-in cooler, I think 2 or 3 times now.
But who's counting?
But I clean it up.
And you've never broken a glass. No, that was Alex, not you.
I've broken 2 glasses.
They've all broken.
Thanks for trying to give me
Not
credit.
Alex.
Almost.
That's right. Alex has not broken a glass. Anyway.
Alex is broken. Is that what you just said?
Save me.
Too many
There's no
names.
saving you at this point.
Let's drink some beers.
Yes. Now we do have a beer in front of us with others at the end of the table. Now this one, we're starting in order, right?
Correct.
So this would make this tried and true,
Yes, sir.
which is one of my favorite styles, Belgian white. I love the aroma. What's the ABV for this one?
5.5.
Oh, that's nice.
It's very nice.
It's very nice. It's citrusy. It's got a little wheat going on there, a little
spicy.
bready character. Yeah, a little spice to the back end there. Quite
It's
delicious.
super delicious. So what's the story behind the name, Tried and True?
Well, I know as you guys go around and you go to all these different breweries, you probably talk about people's flagship.
Yeah.
And I know that we're new, but we already had an idea of a flagship in mind, and this is our flagship. And I also like to think of it as the gateway beer. We've had so many people come in here and be like, give me your latest beer, or I'm a lager drinker. What do you have that's like it? And I'm like, well, we don't lager, but I'd like you to try this. It's a step up from Blue Moon, but to kind of give people an idea of what it is.
For sure, yeah.
That is what it is at its core. And it's a good beer to get people into drinking that aren't used to the over-the-top flavors that craft beer brings you.
And you know what? I find that like more and more breweries that we've been to lately have that beer on tap. They have their gateway beer. They recognize the fact that you're going to have lager drinkers coming in. You're going to have macro beer drinkers
You're
coming in.
going to have a lager drinker?
Yeah.
A macro drinker.
Oh, my
and
God.
a whiskey drinker and a cider
Something
drinker. And then you get knocked down, but you get up again.
Get back up.
Yes, you get up again. Because
No, we might have to pay for this now.
You're never going to keep me down. But no, you do kind of have to have that beer on. And I think it's great because it shows that, one, that more and more people are exploring craft beer, and two, that brewers recognize that it's not like an exclusive club. Like, if you want to try, sure, come on in, start with this, and then move on to that. And it's great to have that kind of a beer on tap.
And I think even for a more experienced drinker, it's one you can return to, and you still find that, especially with Alan doing the variants on it, it's something new that you can return to and still experience something that you haven't before.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you need to come back. I mean, we drink a lot.
We drink a lot.
period.
period.
Just saying. Yeah.
That's okay. That's good.
You do have to come back to, it's great to come back to a nice, standard, traditional style.
Yeah, nothing over the top, just well
that sort of-
executed
yeah.
the way that it should be.
And this would pair really nicely with food.
It would.
Now, you don't have a full kitchen here, but you guys do serve some food.
So we have Nomad Barbecue. He was supposed to work today. He got sick.
Aw.
But
Everyone's
he's one
sick
of
right
yeah,
now.
I know.
It's
he's
T-Swizz.
one of our
You're
bartenders.
My girl's on.
I know.
Sorry.
I have to point that out
Absolutely.
because,
Yeah,
Taylor
see?
Swift. I'm
See?
so sorry I played this, but I'm so happy it's actually going to make the podcast now.
It is.
Because
It's Wayne's favorite.
I love
I'm a
her.
huge
No,
So
I
Oh, me
love
too.
me some Tay
Me
Tay
too.
too.
See?
I actually named
See?
a beer after her, and I got in trouble. So
Carson, I would have overruled Alan for that.
you know what it was? Nightmare dressed as a
I know,
daydream.
yes.
Oh,
perfect.
wow.
Yes.
I would drink that beer.
Thank you.
And Alan, if you're listening, and hopefully he will be,
He will be. He's probably brewing right now. as
You're,
he's listening to this.
you're dumb. Because it was the best beer name ever.
Oh, and I think I can hear him kicking the fermenter.
So
back
about
to the
tried and
barbecue.
true- Oh yeah, the barbecue, and then I want to
Well,
do
yeah.
about a little bit more
It's
about
all
the tried
you,
and true.
Carson. You
I'm
got
all
this.
about-
sorry.
I'm all
You
about
got
barbecue.
this.
Okay,
All right, let's
so
shake it off.
Nomad uses it in the ingredients. He did a braised sausage with this. That was
What?
really good, and he added like coriander to the sausage to even bring out the coriander more in the beer. And one of my guilty pleasures is a shandy/rattler. I know as a beer
nothing wrong
geek,
with
you're
that.
Sorry.
listen, I
Sorry.
love them. And we do a house blended one. We use that as the base, and then
Oh,
we use our
nice.
blueberry lime soda. So it's a
Oh, that would
2/3
be
to 1.
good.
I love it. It's
That
called
sounds
True
good.
Blue, and it's really good.
True blue, baby,
Baby,
I love you.
Yes.
See, if you can do a Madonna song, you can do a T-Swiss song.
Yeah.
See, don't tell him that. He doesn't know it was after.
Oh, no, we just
Oops.
ruined it.
Sorry,
That's
Alan.
not what it's called anymore. Oh, well. So back to the tried and true
Yes.
was your second point.
That was the second point. That it's the
Oh, that
base
it
for
was-
the True Blue.
Oh, okay.
He combined his 2 points into one brilliant
You segued
statement.
so well, I didn't even get the separation.
I apologize.
That
I'm
was-
not trying to bogart the mic.
No, that was perfect. That was
That's a
perfect.
salient point, though. So I mean,
No,
Where
this
did,
is delicious.
Who created the recipe for this? Was that Alan then, or was it like a joint effort?
That was Alan. As a matter of fact, all the big batches so far have been Alan. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. So do any of you guys do any kind of like home brewing or anything? Or do you guys just like handle everything else
I think me
and then drink
and this
the
beer.
beer?
Yeah.
You have some home
I
brewing.
love that, though, that the 12 owners are very diverse. You don't
Yeah,
need
that's really
12
awesome.
home brewers
Yeah. No,
opening
God,
a
no.
brewery.
Yeah.
That would be a catastrophe.
It would be. It'd be like having a podcast with 3 home brewers instead of 1 and 2 guys who just like to drink beer.
Boom.
Touche.
Perfect.
Everyone needs their role.
Exactly.
And
Know
some
your
need
role.
to
there
be
is no
louder,
question.
some
I would
louder than
injure
others.
myself if I tried to homebrew. Like I know that, so
Things
I'll
would explode.
I'll drink it. I'll go there. I'll go to a bar, but Not happening.
And I love that you can admit that.
Givers and takers, right?
Absolutely.
I homebrewed once, and that was the end. It will never happen again.
Thank God, because we drank that beer on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Then you got to pretend you like it.
Mr.
Oh, we
Beer?
did
No,
not
we didn't
pretend we
pretend.
liked
No,
it.
I didn't want anybody to say they liked it.
We tore it apart in front of a room full of people and then posted it on the internet.
Yes, yes. It was a Mr. Beer kit.
The best thing that happened to me was my wife actually just told me, I won't drink anything you make. Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
fair enough.
it makes sense.
Oh, my.
Amazing. So is this next one coming up? Is this the one that you two were all excited about?
Yeah, you're going to get a fresh batch of Devil's Burden, which is a rye IPA.
Oh, I'm excited for this one.
And like Carson said, I was one of those people that said I don't like rye beers.
It's because you're crazy.
Oh, it smells so good. I do want to mention that before we move on to this beer, we briefly alluded to it. The tried and true, later in the show, we will be trying some variations.
Oh, that's right.
That's cool.
It's going to be really interesting. But this smells wonderful, and I can't wait to taste it.
All right.
Holy crap.
So why the name Devil's Burden?
Holy crap, it's delicious.
If you kind of look at a theme that we got going on, I know with Tried and True, that kind of is an outlier, but other themes that we have going on are kind of religious themes. We have the Lazarus, which isn't on right now, but that's religious. We have Iscariot, which we'll get to next, which is Judas's last name. It's just kind of the theme that we're going with. We don't try to be dark and scary. That's not, but it's just kind of how
Alan does like dark beer.
He does.
He does.
It's just kind of the name, and we kind of want to be cohesive in our naming. I'm the guy that tries to come up with these crazy names. They seem fun, and they are fun in my opinion, but they don't fit our scheme. So I got to be more mindful in trying to come up and play into what we are working with.
I didn't know Judas had a last name.
There you go.
Just learned something.
I thought Iscariot was the last name of Pisces.
I thought it was Smashing Pumpkins album.
Yeah.
You both just made the same joke.
Yeah, we did.
This beer is freaking delicious.
Yes,
Yes.
it is. I'm loving this.
If you don't like rye beer, you need to come here and have this beer. I don't care.
I was going to
Get
say
over
that
it.
the rye doesn't overpower anything, and neither does the bitterness of the IPA.
It pairs so nicely with the hops.
It doesn't taste like a rye beer. It really doesn't.
No,
It's delicious.
it's got that little bit of like pepperiness, like black pepper in the back end. But yeah, it's really like you said. If you don't like rye beer, you like
It's
this.
kind of reminiscent of like a Nugget Nectar, or even more so Kettle Fist.
Yes,
from
yes.
St. Boniface and Columbia Kettle Works. It reminds me a lot of that, and I'm digging that beer right now.
I see more
love
of that
beer.
than I do with Nugget Nectar out of this.
Old school Nugget Nectar, I think, was a
Oh,
little
all right.
more, in my opinion.
It was
I
a
don't
little
know.
more punch in the face, like
Yeah.
a little bite at the end.
Right.
I agree.
And this has that, which I really, really love. Have you had this year's Kettle Fist, by the way?
I haven't.
I need to save a can for you
Please do.
guys. 'cause
I
it
just
is-
had it 2 weeks
Didn't
ago,
we just
and
have
it was
it?
great.
No, we just had it recently somewhere, didn't we? Didn't we just? I swear to God, I just drank it not that long ago. Do we have it? No. When did it come out this year?
2 or 3 weeks
just,
ago?
Yeah.
So, it's that new.
It's new, yeah.
I guess this year's only like 4 weeks old.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah. No, it was. We went to the can release day, and
Okay.
oh,
And they sold out of it quick.
yeah, they've been doing a lot of can releases, and they did hegemony in cans.
Nice.
Freaking
Yes.
awesome in big bomber cans. It's awesome. Anyway,
Speaking of which, segue, do you guys have any plans in the works right now or long term of doing like packaging, distributing, canning, and that sort of stuff?
Well, we are going to distribute. We're going to self-distribute at first,
Right.
and it's going to be in kegs. Bottling, we're not sure about that. We might do some special release type stuff on
Yeah.
bottles. That'll be like more of the maybe something that we dose with some Brett or barrel age. We are definitely contemplating once we got our production and how much is going out to the public, and we know how much we can then also sell that we don't have to have here on tap, doing a mobile canning unit.
Okay, cool.
yay!
Nice.
I love cans.
You know, and I think given the craft beer industry now, I think it's smart to not jump into distribution right away like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's smart to have a cool tap room where people want to come and drink your beers on site. Start giving kegs out of local restaurants, self-distribute, that sort of thing, rather than just trying to, start pumping out bottles and kegs and sipping them all over the place right off the bat. I don't think the market for that works like maybe it used to.
Well, even at first, we have 5 places right now that we have had a relationship with, and they know that they're going to get first dibs on our beers. And then, I mean, not to say that other places won't. It's just we have to grow into that. And
Right,
that's
yeah.
still what we're working on.
Do you want to plug those places? Who's like at the top of your list right now?
Or is it secret?
Or is it super secret?
No, I mean, I can plug some of them. Mastracchio's in Newport, which is an awesome place. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's in Perry County, but it's a great little beer place and makes great Italian food. Al's of Hampton, of course.
Of course.
Great guy, Al, and he lets
you use his keg washer.
He's been a great guy for us. I've known him for a really long time, since I started getting into like knowing a lot of people in this business. He was one of the first people that kind of buddied up to me, and I have a soft.
Al's is where I sat down with Alan for the first time before I jumped into this. So Al brought us together.
He is super supportive of just the Central PA beer scene, period.
Absolutely.
And it's so great to see. I love all the collaborations that there was just one done recently. A bunch of Harrisburg area brewers got together.
The 717 is the 717 this year.
Is that what was just brewed there a few weeks ago?
Well, no, we didn't brew it yet. It was discussed.
Oh, it was the big meeting.
Yes.
And
The meeting.
Alan is a part of it. Our whole team.
That's super
awesome.
cool.
Well, speaking of the 717, when will that get brewed? Because now that I think about it, Harrisburg Beer Week is probably
It's coming
about
up.
3 months out. Not 2 months out now.
Yeah.
April.
End of April.
2.5 months.
Yeah. Probably in about.
We
I
are
imagine
so
it
good
gets
at math.
brewed in March. It's going to be an IPA. I can
Hashtag
give that
math.
much away. It's going to be an IPA.
All right.
So we don't want to get too. We don't want to brew it now.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause it would,
Yeah.
Want it fresh.
It's supposed to be juicy.
Yep.
What was it last year?
It was an IPA.
Something
It was an
with
orange.
a shit ton of
Yeah.
citrus in it.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it the first year? 'Cause
First
haven't
year it was
they
that
been
like
IPAs?
it was like a sour. It was like a hybrid. It
Oh,
was really
that's
interesting
right.
because it was Trogs, Al's, and Appalachian.
ABC.
Appalachian, yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
like-
they did the first 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
The first year, to be fair, it kind
It
of
was-
seemed like everybody tried to put their own spin on it. I don't know if
It
it
was
worked.
unique.
Last year definitely worked.
I didn't
mean,
have it last year. I don't
that
think.
We did.
orange.
Yeah, we did it a little big.
Yeah, we had a
Oh, we had to a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course
Yeah.
we did. Yes. Never mind.
hashtag little big, lots of beers.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, don't remember.
Speaking of Little Big Beer Fest, we are doing some special stuff just for the fest.
We got a
So-
little
I know.
tease earlier.
Oh, okay.
We were told that we couldn't hear about it after.
We're not allowed to say it on the internet.
That is super secret,
Oh, okay.
so it can't be on the internet yet.
So when I see Sarah tomorrow, Ms. Bozich,
Of course.
I'm not going to say
You're not
anything
gonna say
about
nothing.
tonight.
Nope.
That's right.
There you go.
Lips are sealed.
Yep.
Lips are sealed. I love Sarah, though. My fellow chili beer drinker.
Yes.
Speaking of beer,
Y'all are weird.
what's
Kindred.
next?
Oh yeah, they're ready for
Kindred
another one.
spirits.
Nice.
Moving right along.
Yeah. So this is
Scary.
the
Oh, this
Mr.
is-
Judas.
It's
a
brand new.
Black
Just got
IPA,
released today.
and just came out today.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. Now we had a black IPA. We were at Tattered Flag, I think it was, and Wayne made the comment
good.
that black IPAs are fairly underrated and not as common as they once were. There was a big push for
There was
them,
like a
and then they went
brief
away.
period where you saw
And
them all the
now-
time, yeah.
And now I'm glad that the ones that are coming out are very well executed, because before it was kind of like, hey, it's an IPA that's dark. Hey, that's a thing. But now to have a beer like this that's
And then,
so
hey, ho, hip hop,
oh
hooray.
Jesus Christ. But to have a beer like this that brings the style back in a very triumphant way it's refreshing.
Well, thank you. Triumphant way. I dig
What
that.
else can we say? I think he said it all. Ooh.
Yep.
It's going to be so wrong. I
Oh,
just
no.
burped up the rye beer.
Oh my god.
And
Was it pleasurable?
It tasted
This
just as
with
good.
And
the,
you
with
didn't
the
hate
two
it.
of them
It was-
together.
It was okay.
It was a
New
really
blend.
nice combination.
We're going to do a 50-50
I'm,
later?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I still have
Black
some here.
rye
I could
IPA.
do that.
I'm just saying. Black
Actually,
rye
what I really
IPA.
this black IPA's got a really like fine, almost nitrous like
It does.
or nitro. Like
I was gonna say
Very
yeah.
smooth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's very what?
Smooth.
Thank you.
That's,
Stan's favorite
that's
word.
Stan's word.
Sorry, Dan.
No, it's cool. They used to
he's
give me shit for
confident,
saying
man.
it all the time.
We still give you shit for saying
I
it.
know.
It's all good.
But at least now I know what it means.
I'm actually not a fan of black IPAs.
No,
How
Just-
about this black IPA?
I do like this.
All right.
All
he's
right.
Hates this one
contractually
to God.
obligated to say that.
Well, no. I'm going to say something that I love South County's Black Cowgirl.
Oh,
it's
I
good one,
think
yeah.
I think that's
That
more.
beer's awesome.
In my opinion, it's more porter than black IPA, and that might be the
Sort of
reason.
like a
that I
hoppy
lo-
porter, yeah.
Yes, that might be the reason I like it, and I really miss Stone's Sublimely Self-Righteous.
oh yes.
Oh, I don't think I had
was-
that.
That was a good beer.
Yeah, they don't make it anymore, but that was the black IPA.
And
This one is good though. I feel it's well balanced. I don't feel it's too bitter, throwing against the roasty notes. So I don't like the juxtaposition of the flavors a lot of times, but this works.
It does work. I agree with you. It's good.
it's good.
This is,
You did such a beautiful.
Oh, gee, thanks.
you
mix
called
of
it
words
you called it
there.
triumphant. I mean, we really can't follow that.
I know. That's what I'm like.
So you can find a way.
What do I even say?
And I'll throw this out there too. I love the lacing.
Dan's all about the lacing lately. He's getting fancy.
I am.
I
Look
also,
what you guys have done to me.
We talked
I know.
about the barbecue. I was going to say pig on a stick or whatever it is.
Pig
But
on a stick.
you also have some snacks here as well that you can. I think last time we were here, Rich and I were sharing some pickles, which I love. I want a little something to munch on, and $1 I can get a pickle. Like, you want to talk about some of the snacks in the menu? I guess I should look at Carson since you're the Sunday guy.
Well,
You know the menu. Tim, you're
we got
behind the bar a
some-
lot too.
Yeah, I know some of the snacks anyway. We got Miller's Hot Bologna, my personal favorite.
A bar staple.
We got some hot peppers.
They are
chips.
hot. They're for real
They're
hot.
really hot.
Got some fudge. Goes well with the stout when we have that on.
Fudge from
Fudge-a-lutely. Yeah.
Fudge-a-lutely?
Have you heard of them?
No.
They work out of the Broad Street Market, and they take beer and infuse it into their fudge.
Oh,
That's so cool.
What?
And it is just I don't even like fudge, but I like what they're doing.
That's really
it's
cool.
phenomenal.
Now, do they use any of your beer in any of their fudges?
Not yet.
Not yet.
They
Those
will.
jerks.
Wait for it.
If they want to keep
we're all
selling
upset
it here,
about
it might be recommended.
That would be awesome.
That freaking the sipping beer, the barrel aged Lazarus with cinnamon that we had earlier,
that would be an
an
amazing
awesome
fudge.
fudge. That would be incredible. We are so getting trolled
Next
right now.
Valentine's Day. Next Valentine's Day, you need to do a beer and fudge pairing. Speaking
really
of
good.
Valentine's Day, we didn't mention this yet because this will actually
Huge
air
event.
next Friday.
Huge
You guys
event.
have a big event on Valentine's Day. It might be sold out by the time you're listening to this, but
That
call
would be
anyway
awesome
and find
if it
out.
were.
So talk about this amazing
Yeah,
thing.
and Carson's going to be the only one working.
Yeah, I actually
I'm
probably
going
will
to
be.
come
On
and just watch
roller
Carson.
skates.
It's going to be phenomenal.
That sounds like fun.
So we teamed up with one of our bartenders who's Nomad Barbecue, and we're doing a 4-course dinner. So you'll get 4 different beers, and he's using some of the beers in his courses, and it's not just barbecue. Matter of fact, it's not barbecue at all. He has a really cool menu planned out. If you go to our Facebook page, you can see what it is.
So what kind of dishes will be served? Do we know
There's
yet?
an oyster mignette. There is
fancy.
the dessert is a smoked chocolate cheesecake, I think, or something like that.
What?
A smoked chocolate cheesecake?
Yes,
That
smoked.
sounds really good.
I mean,
Yes, and it's going to be.
that's course number 4, and that's the only one I care about right now.
We're making a special Russian Imperial Stout for that. We're doing a chocolate cherry version of our.
Oh, yeah, that was. they
We've
mentioned
been
that
told
earlier.
it's going to end up in the compote.
I think so. I think you're correct. Are you looking at? Yeah. Go ahead, Tim.
We got some smoked brisket and root vegetable salad with horseradish cream. Smoked lox croquettes with lemon and rye aioli. And like you said, the chocolate cherry Russian Imperial with the smoked chocolate cheesecake with cherry bourbon compote.
Wow.
And did I
take
see
4
it's
courses
only
of that.
going to be
Yeah, that sounds
$100 a couple?
It's $100 a couple, and you think about that. You're getting 4 courses, and you're each getting 4 beers. I feel that it's very
That is
reasonable.
awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially given what those courses are. That sounds delicious.
So do people call to reserve spots, come in and buy tickets? How does that work?
Come in and buy tickets is what we prefer. I guess we could technically reserve a spot, but we prefer that you have the tickets purchased ahead of time.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's pretty cool. So it might be sold out by now, but maybe check their Facebook page. Come on in, give them a call and ask. But if you still need Valentine's Day plans,
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Once you're done listening to our yearly episode with Greg Orth
Yes.
for Valentine's Day.
So I got a question
no,
about
this will air before
this,
that.
yeah.
no, I'm saying,
But
but,
the-
at that
Oh,
time.
I see what
roughly
you're
about
saying.
the time. So
Wink,
did
wink,
we
smile,
did
smile.
did we mention the price? Did I miss the price?
$100 a couple.
So for single people, $50.
You know, I
Or,
didn't
like, just-
contemplate
you're
that.
not allowed.
Just kind of get the fuck out.
Wait,
kinda
the
deal?
single people could
Well,
sit
it's
at the bar.
Valentine's
You know,
Day.
all the single ladies, all the single ladies. I think you're welcome. I think it's all good. I think we can make accommodations. I'm down for
Well,
that.
you guys could come together and be a couple.
At Boneshire, while we accept single people, just pick a random person.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Well, that's what you should set aside an even number of single tickets and have like a singles mingle section.
Yeah, like you're forced to
A
sit
long
with someone
table.
and possibly hook up.
Maybe like
Right?
speed dating. Like you spend
Yeah.
one course with one person, then you move to the next person. You know,
We should actually charge more for that table.
actually, yeah, because
Well,
that's like an
usually
extra
isn't it
added
like
surface.
like
service.
100 a couple or 65 for
Yeah.
one.
For
There you go.
single.
That could
Yeah.
work out.
There you go.
There you are, single friends. There you go.
Wow.
So there's one more
There's
beer.
another beer in this lineup.
You're
isn't
going
there?
fast. I'm not even done with this one yet.
I'm not done with
gonna
any
let
of them.
this
I'm
one
saving
sit.
them. I'm going to sip on them
I feel like
throughout
when we
the-
got 6 people, we got to keep it moving,
the
right?
rest of the evening.
Yeah, I guess.
Gotta keep it moving.
Now this one is Que Sera.
Que sera,
Sera.
whatever will be, will
Thank
be.
So this is a Belgian strong ale.
I enjoy all of those words.
This one has is the ABV is conspicuously absent from the notes, so I'm curious how strong this
9.
is. This is a 9er. And
Nine.
we started with a 10.5 at the top of the show.
Boneshire knows how to drink.
Yep.
Trained professionals.
Oh, that's nice. That's really good.
I didn't sip it yet. It smells fantastic.
Like it's not fancy. Like it's a Belgian strong ale. It's everything a Belgian strong ale should be, and nothing else.
Ooh,
it's really good. So I know Steph's. It's not your favorite style.
This is one style. This
Yeah.
and barley wines.
Yeah, I know you. Something
barley
about
wines.
them,
Barley wine's got to be done right for me to like them.
Oh, love me a barley wine.
You know, had a really good barley wine, Turkey Hill.
Wow.
That barley wine was fantastic.
Yes, that barley wine I did enjoy.
Yes,
that was good.
So what was the?
I love their iced tea.
Wrong Turkey Hill.
What was
Still Pennsylvania though?
All
Touché.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that is true. What was the impetus for doing the Belgian strong ale?
Okay, so it wasn't supposed to be a Belgian strong ale.
Okay.
And technically, if we want to get down to it, it's an Imperial Belgian Blonde, but that's not a thing. So it's a Belgian strong ale. It's Belgian strong golden ale.
All right.
Yeah.
What happened was we are on a new system, and we get amazing efficiency that we're not used to.
That's funny.
So in this case, it's a happy mistake, to be honest. It was supposed to be lower in ABV, but when you got 9%, that's Imperial.
Yeah.
So that's what happened here, and it became, I like to call it boozy bananas.
It is. Yeah.
That's perfect.
I dig it like that, and I think it's very different from most of the stuff you drink. Not different in that it's the best, but I feel it's unique from a lot of stuff that's out there, and I'm happy that we made this mistake with it.
Nice, very nice. It's got a really nice sweetness to it, and like boozy bananas,
Absolutely.
like you said. Yeah. Although that like completely makes my early comment not make any sense, because I was like, yeah, it's exactly what a Belgian strong ale should be. Like, well, it's not even supposed to be a Belgian.
But no, you're right. It is still a Belgian strong ale.
It's a Belgian strong ale.
You
It
definitely
works.
get all the
It's
Belgian
Belgian,
notes
it's
that
strong.
you're looking for.
right.
I like that there is some heat behind it, but really not much. Like
Yeah,
at 9%, it could go either way, but this one does not overdo
And you know,
it.
the thing with Belgian styles is that you can tell the alcohol is there by that candy sweetness.
Yeah.
The more of that you get, you're like, okay, there's
And that's
something there.
that's what I don't like about Belgian ales. That candy sweetness is just I like beers that clean up after themselves.
Yeah.
I think our listeners know that after 108 episodes. And Belgian beers don't do that. And that's fine. It's just not something that I like. I don't like having this sweetness on my tongue just like, I just want a glass of water right now.
You guys know I have an insane sweet tooth, so I don't
Yep.
mind.
So it's
it
perfect
can stick
for you.
around all day
It's
for me.
perfect for you. K Syrah. I don't even know what that really... What does K Syrah mean?
Whatever will be, will be.
Yeah.
Is that literally what it means?
Well,
the song?
Syrah means will be, and K means what.
What?
Yeah, what will
What
be.
will be?
Yeah.
And that's where the name comes, because it was a
I mean,
mistake.
it makes
So
sense.
whatever-
Whatever
Oh.
it will be.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I've
not
been
a
singing
dark
that song
name,
for
but-
years.
No,
and I never-
you're right. It's not a dark name, but it's still like, I don't know.
It makes light of the situation.
It's not a
kind of.
dark
We're kind of
beer,
like,
though.
we clothe ourselves in this.
But
Oh.
I got a question.
You're
So,
selling
Or
it.
no, wait, no. I have a dark name for you.
oh god,
Because it was a mistake, because things don't always go to plan, and it should be just called The Universe Doesn't Care.
yeah, that's right. Universe, Honey Badger don't care.
Their names are a little more poetic than that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you want to be bleak and to the point.
That's more of a Smashing Pumpkins song.
right?
It really is. Billy would be proud.
Yes. Yes.
So if this was a happy accident, a happy mistake, I'm guessing you figured out how to recreate the mistake and keep it on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that it's going to be one that we recreate.
I shouldn't say recreate the mistake, because that makes it sound like the beer
Well, I
shouldn't
mean,
happen. But
I-
like to
the-
recreate the events that led to this beer.
The one thing that I've always admired about Alan, he pays attention to what he's doing. So even if it turns out in a way that he didn't expect,
Did you just
I mean-
like totally biff it on?
He pays attention to what he's doing.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
right? I'm
Well,
not sure
I
that
don't.
I really agree with
I
that
don't.
statement.
So I totally get it.
It's just funny.
Sorry, lawyered. So there's a lot of people out there that just do things, and whatever happens happens,
Right,
or
right.
whatever
They don't
will
pay
be, will be.
attention.
They don't pay attention. But Alan actually gives a shit about what he brews, and that shows in his beer. And so even if it turns out to be a mistake,
Right.
he's not afraid
He
to
knows
dump it.
right.
Or if it works out well, surprisingly, he's like, "Oh, I can do that again."
Right.
It's called note taking.
And he does. He takes copious notes as he brews. And this one, this is actually a mistake that's easy to recreate because it was all in the recipe. We just got better efficiency.
Like, it was supposed to be a blonde ale, but it was much more efficiently fermented than you expected, and it became
exactly
a brunette.
Yeah,
Surprise!
it became a brunette.
Ding, 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 ding.
But there's some amazing beers that come out of mistakes.
Oh,
I
for
know
sure.
We've had some amazing ones. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, definitely. That's my favorite. Like a happy accident.
It's like the unexpected thing that turned out to be something else that was good. Well,
Sochi Good Ale.
that's what it was.
So-
Thank you.
That's the
Stitch Creek.
quintessential example because
Chico
that
Ale.
was a mistake that they couldn't recreate. Like they could
Yeah,
not get that
the
to happen
yeast
again.
Just died
We're
in the
talking
middle
about
of it.
Snitz Creek when we're talking about they.
Oh, okay.
They were
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah,
was that
sorry.
episode 16?
That was
a
early on.
long time ago.
This
But yeah,
is
for them-
episode 108.
For them, the yeast died, and they just couldn't. You can't kill the yeast in the middle of it. So that just was the happy accident that they cannot
And it was
do
delicious.
Again. It was so good.
It was
Yeah.
so
It was
cheap.
so good.
Like, have you guys ever been to Burley Oak?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's the place I like. Anytime anybody asks me about anywhere, I'm always like, go to Burley Oak. So, I actually accidentally started going there right when they opened. So now I go down every year when I'm at the beach. So I'm right around their anniversary every year. It's awesome. Anyway, so they've had some happy mistakes too, where they've had burners go out, their boil kettle go out in the middle of a boil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? They got that Funkatorium. They're just like, let's get funky with it.
Throw some freaking bugs in there,
That's
put it in
usually
a
the
barrel.
answer.
Yeah, there
Exactly.
you go.
Put it in a barrel and make it sour.
That is always a
Or
good way to
both.
try and save something.
Or dry hop the hell out of it.
Yeah, that's true too.
So we've had a couple of beers, and with the magic of editing, the panel has slightly rotated yet again. So we have a newcomer at the table. We have with us
Carl Larson.
Carl. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes, you were at was it a Little Big Beer Fest or was it the Invitational?
It was one of the things
One of
we
the
did
things
at ABC.
Appalachian. Yeah, you were on with
It
your
was the
homebrew
Invitational.
club.
That's
which
what it was,
was
yeah.
What is the homebrew club? I forget.
Regional Harrisburg area brewers.
Okay, that's what it
Rehab.
was. Yes, Rehab.
Rehab.
How did I forget Rehab? I don't know. Sorry about that. But it's nice to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
And this is just in time for us to play a little bit of a game.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So wait, what do we
go.
have?
Here we go. Cheers, Internet, and welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, the only podcast trivia segment that, despite all its rage, is still just a rat in a cage. Today, we are playing tried and true Happy Fun Time favorite,
Oh, I
the
wish Andy would've
continuation
heard
of the
that.
beer education of the Beer Busters Nation, that is Libation or Fabrication. Yes, in which I will give you the name of a beer, and you must tell me if that beer is real or fakey fake, whether somebody made it or I made it up. And we will begin,
Got 3 beer geeks here.
as most of the time, to my left with Dan. Tell me, is this a real beer or is it fake? This beer is called Trump Hands.
Oh my god!
Given the current political landscape, I'm going to guess that is real for the time being.
Dan is saying real for the time
until
being.
he deletes it.
Until the Gestapo comes and shuts it down.
It has to be
Steph,
real.
what do you think?
It has to be real.
Steph is saying real. Carl, real.
Totally real.
Totally, absolutely real. Alan,
Definitely real.
going real as well. Carson, rounded out.
No, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go with false.
Oh,
Not real.
Circle gets the square. You are incorrect. It is, in fact, real.
I saw it.
That's right.
It is, in fact, real. It is a 4.6% session IPA by
Of course it
Cannonball
is.
Creek Brewing Company in Golden,
4.6.
Colorado. The name
Go
was
figure.
inspired by the relatively tiny alcohol content. The beer won a gold medal for Session IPA, GABF, in 2016, though investigations into voter fraud are ongoing.
I was going to say, can we have a recount?
Moving on to Steph, who is going to guess first
Yes.
for our next beer of the game, and this beer is called Juicy Bits.
Juicy Bits?
Juicy Bits. Is that real or fake?
Oh, jeez. That sounds like a Wayne name, but I'm going to say real.
Steph is saying that's real.
Sounds like
Carl, what do you
something
think?
you
That is not real.
That is not real. He is saying
He's
it's
very confident.
False. He was very confident.
Not real.
Not real. Alan's saying not real as well. Carson, what do you
It
think?
sounds hypersexual, so I'm going to go with real.
Nice.
All right.
Thank
all right. Interesting logic.
High
Finally,
five
Dan.
for hypersexual.
I will say real as well.
Dan is also saying real. Dan and Carson and Steph are correct because it is, in fact, real. It is a New England style IPA. Everybody's
Made in
favorite right
of
now.
course it is.
Of course, from WeldWorks Brewing in Greeley, Colorado. Juicy Bits has a softer, fluffier mouthfeel, which is a sentence that brings me great joy to say. The beer is reminiscent of citrus juice with extra pulp, hence the name Juicy Bits. Moving on to our next beer of the game, and Carl is going to guess first on this one, and this beer is called Junkyard Grog.
Not real.
Not real. Saying that is fake.
I love the instant answer.
I know, he's so confident. He's like right on it.
No junk jar.
There
It's like
is
the opposite of
100% without a doubt that is a real beer.
100%
Whoa.
without a doubt.
Very confident in
that is a real
Is he
beer.
trying to throw us off, though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is he taking a dive?
I don't feel it should be a name.
I was like,
so I'm
no,
going to go with no.
All right,
Oh.
all right. There's a lot going on
Carson's
right
not
now.
buying it.
I know. This is exciting. Dan, what do you think?
It is exciting. So much confidence.
I know, right?
I'm gonna fake.
Fake, says Dan.
I'm gonna say real.
And Steph says real. Alan, you are 100% without a doubt wrong. Because
Damn it!
it is.
Damn it!
See,
in fact,
that is
fell for it.
that is a Carson book name
I
right
fell
there.
for it.
And I have horrible names. I thought we established this.
Junkyard Grog is fake. But did you know that Junkyard Dog's real name was Sylvester Ritter?
Wow.
And he died in
Son.
1998.
Sad.
Thank you, Google.
JYD was my man.
Junkyard Grog would like to rage. All right, moving on to our
I
next
was a British Bulldog fan.
year of the game. And Alan, who is so confident, is going to guess next on this beer.
Shit.
And this beer is called Shirtless Putin Nuzzling with Dolphins. Is that real or
Are you
fake?
fucking kidding me?
I don't know. Am I? That's how the game works.
Man.
The fucking emo band of craft beers.
It has to be real. I mean, who the hell would make up that name and not be
Well,
serious
Wayne
about it?
might.
all right. You say
I'm going to
it's
go
real.
with it's real. It's
Going
gotta
with
be
real? Okay. Going with
What
gotta
do I
be
got
real.
to lose? I got my
game.
shirt on.
Yeah, I got to lose.
Thank God.
Based on our little inside joke, I also think it's real.
All right.
yeah.
Also saying it's real. Dan, what do you think?
Run it by me one more time.
That is Shirtless Putin Nuzzling with Dolphins.
If it's not real, it should be our next shirt.
It's true. In that case, I'm gonna go fake.
Dan is saying that is fake. Steph, what do you think?
I'll say real.
Steph saying real. We got
I
three.
feel like it could be real.
Three reels and a fake. Carl, what do you think?
I'm smelling Cards Against Humanity. Not real.
All right, saying it's fake. Unfortunately, you are wrong because it is real.
Ah.
It is a really real beer. It is actually the second in a series of Shirtless Putin beers.
Nice.
After Shirtless Putin on a horse, of course. Nuzzling with Dolphins is an 11% barrel-aged Imperial Baltic Porter brewed with coffee from Call to Arms Brewing.
Wow.
In Denver, Colorado. There's a lot going on in that beer.
Wow.
It sounds really good, actually. Much like, well, we won't go there.
No.
Moving on to our final beer of the game. It all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen, and Carson is going to guess first on this one, and this is called Hypocritical.
You know, that's fun. And I feel like
That's fun. That's really cute.
it
That's
is. It's fun.
nice.
It's cute. I think it's nice. And I'm going to go with yes.
All right, going with real. Dan, what do you think?
I will
Carson for the
say fake.
Dan is saying that is fake, Steph.
I'm just going to keep the trend and say real.
All right. Steph is
say
saying-
real for
yeah,
everything?
Steph
I
is-
said real for all of them.
Steph
I
has said
usually
real
do.
for all of them, yeah. Do you? Is that how you play
Usually,
this game?
pretty much, yeah.
I haven't caught
If
on
I
yet.
don't know, I just say real. Because
All
I'm
right.
like, you can't come up with that many fake names.
All right, Carl, what do you think?
I think I'm going to have to go with Carson. I think it's real.
All right, saying it's real, and finally, Alan.
Fuck it, it's fake.
Fuck it, it's fake. Steph, Carl, and Carson are all wrong.
Damn it.
Because it is, in fact, fake.
Damn, you came up with two.
It is not a real beer. It is just a bad pun.
I thought I was going to win. A tie?
We're gonna add
That's
up
the
the
next
points.
name of our beer.
Because
There
that
you
was
go.
that was the
Fuck
last
it, it's
one.
fake?
Yes,
Or-
yes.
So we have one runaway winner, ladies and gentlemen, and if hell hasn't frozen over, it's at least a little bit colder because Dan
Hey.
has won the game with
Wow.
4 out of 5
Wow.
points. Yeah,
Well
yeah.
done, sir.
You guys suck.
4 out of 5. That's like 80%. We have
Or
Time
it
with My
is
Life.
80%.
We have a slightly disappointing German Sparkle Party because it's only for second place.
Nice.
We have Steph, Alan, and Carson tied with 3 points apiece. And
I'll take
unfortunately, newcomer to the table, Carl, not a good first showing for today's episode.
I would have crushed it in golf.
Yeah, you would have. You would have. You had only.
There's no club at the table.
You
Sorry,
had
just a
only
bat.
2 points. There is a hammer.
That's mine.
So that's the name of the game, kids. That's the end of the segment. And at this point, we do our patron roll call.
Yay!
Where we list the names of our most generous patrons on Patreon, beginning with the tried and true Wolfgang von Colt, Victoria Miles, our own hometown brewery, Oak Brook Brewing Company, and of course, the one and only That's No Baloney, Joe Man himself, Joe Mansell.
And I do want to give a shout out to our favorite brewery patron, Oak Brook. I recently attended an Indian food, Mumbai Indian street food and IPA pairing night there, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. The beers were great, the food was incredible, and it looks like Kyle and the staff there are going to start doing more events like that. So if you haven't been to Oak Brook yet, definitely get there and try the great beers, especially the Bloody Moose. You heard it here first on
That's in Reading,
Beer Busters.
correct?
Yeah, it's
yes.
in Reading.
I was
But
there.
now that they're
Great
doing
place.
these
It's a really
beer
good place.
and food pairing events, like they can't be missed. It was a great time. The staff was incredible. It was sold out, but it was comfortable. And so, since they're our patron, I just want to keep giving them.
And
the
we're
love.
not just saying nice things about them because they're our patron. We said nice things about them before they became a patron.
That is very
That
true.
is true.
A really
That's very
awesome brewery,
true.
yeah. But if you want to find out who you can get on the patron roll call or get other cool behind-the-scenes perks, you can go to patreon.com/beerbusters and sign up to support the podcast. That's patreon.com/beerbusters to learn more.
I don't know how I got an 80%, but we should do this.
No, your beer.
No,
your soda.
Steph, what do we got?
I think Wayne just said it all. So when I read that Boneshire serves up house-made soda, which we're going to get to in a moment, I was intrigued and started to do some of my own research to see how easily it would be to make your own soda at home. So I came across an article on homebrewing.org with a very straightforward and easy recipe. I learned that making your own soda can be easy. The process is quite simple, the equipment is minimal, and the ingredients are inexpensive. So first, here's what you will need. You're going to need a 5-gallon or larger bucket with a spigot or a funnel, which pretty much any home brewer has, some plastic 2-liter or 20-ounce bottles with caps, make sure they're plastic, a 12-quart or larger stock pot, a large spoon for stirring, sugar, about 8 cups, 1 packet of brewer's yeast. Champagne yeast is usually the most popular for soda extract, and a kitchen thermometer. Easy enough. So what you do is you take a stock pot, you combine 2 gallons of water with 8 cups of sugar. Are you writing this down, Dan?
No.
You bring the solution to a boil and stir until the sugar has completely
I'll
dissolved.
tell you why in a minute.
You're going to remove it from the heat and cool, and then you're going to add the sugar solution to your bucket and top it with cold water until you get to about 4 gallons. This is when you add the soda extract, and there's so many out there. You can be really creative from, your standard to something crazy. You want to make sure your temperature is between 70 and 80 degrees because, as our homebrewing friends know, you need a certain temperature when you're adding yeast. So at this point, you're going to add your brewer's yeast and mix thoroughly. You're then going to transfer the soda into bottles. You're going to cap tightly and store it at 70 degrees, and this is when the yeast is going to begin consuming that sugar in the solution. When yeast eats sugar, as we know, its byproducts are alcohol and CO2. For this step, we're just waiting for enough CO2 to be produced for carbonation while watching carefully because we don't want to get that alcohol. This step typically
I don't know.
takes between 24 and 72 hours. So they say after waiting about 24 hours, you want to test for carbonation. This is where the plastic bottles are going to make your life easier. When proper carbonation levels are reached, the bottle will be firm when squeezed. If it's
Much like me.
If it still has a lot of give, you want to wait an additional 6 to 12 hours and then check again. Once the bottles are hard, put them in the refrigerator. Putting the bottles in the fridge will make the yeast go dormant, halting fermentation, of course. Now, there are many small adjustments that can be made to change the flavor profile or calorie count of your soda. Maltodextrin can be added to increase body, mouthfeel, and head retention. Spices like vanilla, wintergreen, anise, and more can be added to tweak your flavor profile. A simple thing like changing the type of sugar being used can make a completely different soda altogether. A few examples would be switching from table sugar, which of course is derived from beets, to cane sugar. Another great soda sugar is honey. A combination of honey and sugar will add a lot of depth to your soda. For diet soda, consider adding half of the sugar needed and supplementing the rest with sugar substitute like Splenda. But you have to remember that when naturally carbonating sodas, a small amount of real sugar is essential so the yeast can consume it in order to produce the needed CO2. So I kind of feel like easy enough, especially if you're a home brewer and you have a lot of this equipment. Why not give it a try?
Or
Dan, why not give it a try?
Because I have a soda stream.
Yeah, just get a soda stream.
Yeah,
It's
but
fine.
that's
So
cheating.
I have
That's
a-
not as
I have a
fun.
legit question. So you use yeast, but you don't let it ferment to the point of alcohol.
No, because you just want to use the
to
yeast
give the
to
carbonation.
create carbonation.
So,
Interesting.
if you are going to homebrew a hard soda, would you just let the yeast ferment to the point of alcohol?
That's a great question. I would assume yes.
You could.
I didn't
You could.
even think of that.
Let's do it.
definitely
Let's try
could.
it.
I didn't even
But
think. But
you,
you would probably need to increase the sugar though, because I'm not sure how much alcohol you're going to get.
Otherwise,
from,
you'd end up with like a wine cooler. Nobody
Yeah.
wants that.
Oh yeah, nobody wants
Yeah.
that.
Well,
No.
then the other part of it is
Zima was
back
mine.
sweetening. You want it to be a little sweet too.
Right. So you don't want all the sugar to
Yeah,
ferment
right,
out. You
right,
want to
which
actually
is
have,
what could and usually does happen.
Right. Right.
Super dry and just not good.
Nice.
So, do you want to? I don't know if this is a trade secret, but do you want to share what's done here at a professional scale? How do you
So,
make your house soda? And Carl, you can pass while he's talking.
Yeah,
I want to
absolutely.
try this.
Carl,
stuff.
pass him.
Yeah,
pass him
Carl,
down.
come on,
So-
man.
So what we
You're
got
in the
here,
passing position.
You
Did you
have
know this?
one job.
It's a blueberry lime soda, and so ours is actually made from real fruit. So we actually what we do is we put it in a kettle, put the fruit in a kettle,
Oh,
add our water to extract,
This is good.
to heat it up to extract to the juices as well as the color and flavors. And so we don't actually naturally ferment it. We actually force carbonate it for a couple reasons.
But
We
it
actually
makes sense here.
right? We actually heat it to pasteurize it to get the pasteurization temperature. So we hold it X degrees. I'm not going to say what that is. Kind of a trade secret, but. So we hold it at X degrees for 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what fruit we're doing, and then transfer into to kegs and forced carbonate, which our sodas are all natural fruit, cane sugar. We usually actually about half the sugar content that you would get in a standard American big mass-produced soda.
Right. Yeah.
So it's more lighter, refreshing. It's great with mixing with beer, but I drink a lot of it while I'm brewing.
the fresh blueberry
yeah.
flavor is insane. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yep.
It is, and you mentioned the lower sugar. It
Yep.
is. It's crisp.
Yes.
Like it's not like
Yes.
it's not like you're drinking a dessert.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What other flavors have you done or are looking to toy with?
Raspberry. So everything that we are gonna do will always have some sort of acidic component to help balance the sweetness. So we're always trying to put limes, lemons, kumquats.
Kumquats.
Anise.
Which are right. I don't know about anise with fruit, but you know.
no, I
we'll
just
try
wanted to
sometime.
say
No,
anise. Yeah.
Who doesn't like saying anise? My actual favorite soda that we do and I haven't done yet here is ginger, which is not ours. Is not for the faint of heart. It's pretty hardcore. It's like drinking. I know this doesn't sound good, but it's like drinking wasabi. It clears your sinuses out, but it's no joke. It's actually we do it with lemon juice and lemon zest, and it's really refreshing and great. Makes great Moscow mules. So
I gotta say, I really like the trend of craft soda because we were at Cape May the end of last year. The episode was released beginning of this year. They had a soda macchiato, which was really good. And we know
Yes.
Appalachian has their root beer, their birch beer. I love that trend because not only is it something that's good for DDs and kids that come in, but it's also something else that can show what you can do with these ingredients. And it's another craft. There's passion and knowledge that goes into it. I love that aspect.
the one thing to just caution you on is that there's a lot of people that make sodas that make. I know the segment leading into this was about extracts and so on and so forth. But if you're a true blue craft person, making it from scratch it's important to me at least. And so using extract made in whatever state, I won't name anybody, but it's important. Like I love true craft sodas that are made from scratch, kind of like how they used to be made years and years and years ago. And I'd done a lot of research on it. There's not many places where you can go get a traditional lime Ricky or something like that that's made today. And so I spent a lot of time trying, especially with the blueberry here, that the ingredients are really important. Fresh ingredients are really important. So, the season stuff, it's really hard to get good seasonal stuff right now. I mean, we're in the middle of winter. So, to me, it's important that if you're going to make a soda and if you're going to call it craft, it needs to be craft, not some extract that's made with, of these preservatives, and there's still a lot of it out there. So there's a lot of breweries that are making craft soda, or people that are making craft soda that truly aren't craft. It's kind of like a knockoff. So I'm not trying to be negative, but
No,
you know,
it's a pretty good
and
point.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And so, but there are a lot of soda people out there that take a lot of pride in what they do. That's what they do. They make soda. They don't make anything else other than soda. And there's a bunch of them out there, and seek them out. You know, Hot Lip Soda, Oregon's really good. Hard to get out this way, but it's really good stuff.
So if our homebrew friends that are listening at home wanted to try to make their own soda, and instead of extract want to use fresh fruit, is there any advice you would give them for using fresh fruit?
Make sure you, if you do it, I actually recommend against trying to carbonate it naturally. Typically what happens is you get a lot of alcohol build up, and they're not going to make it the right way. So force carbonate it. I know it's a little challenging that way if you don't have the equipment. Force carbonate it, keep it cold, and drink it fast. That's right.
Keep it cold and drink it fast.
You know, a week to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If it's good, that's not a problem. And the thing of it is if you're using real fruit, it's good for you. I mean, you get a lot of the fruit juices, and that's the one thing that makes it a bit of a challenge, especially if you're trying to make it consistently. Is getting the right sugar content. And so you need to know what your fruit is, and especially when you start using your own fruit, like say if you're growing blueberries or strawberries. It is a bit of a challenge making sure that you're getting the right sugar content, because you can easily make something that's too sweet or not sweet enough. So get a refractometer, figure out what the good sugar content should be, and do a little homework. That's the way to do it.
Now, can people come and get not crowlers yet?
Well,
soon growlers of the soda to go, or is it just in-house?
Because we are making it in really small batches. I'm really trying to logistically figure out how to do it in larger batches. We actually do have the cooperage. We actually bought a bunch of old Hoff Steven kegs designed for well, they're not designed for soda, but they're perfect for soda because they're so beat up, and they work great for what we want them for. And so right now I haven't figured it out. We're trying to. It's not like I have other things to worry about, like making good beer.
No, come on, you're going to clone yourself. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
So when I figure that out, we'll have it on all the time, and hopefully have growlers to go. We actually did the other day have a couple people come and ask for it, and I said sure, no problem. So we don't typically do it now.
But if you ask really nicely,
and you bat your eyelashes, please.
Yeah. We have a couple regular customers that come in that have kids that come in and drink it all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say no to them. I mean, especially
Quite,
when
so
when,
fun.
Right, I know, right?
He's a business owner. That's frowned upon.
Well, no, and for me, it's not even the business aspect of it. It's I love the fact that a 12-year-old girl comes in and says, "I want that soda because it's really good," and I could care less if an adult drinks it. Kids like it. It's fine with me.
And you did something right, yeah.
The other thing that I'll throw out there is my son, who is 4 years old, actually helped me make this soda. This one you're drinking here, no joke.
Oh wow!
So for me, it's important trying to get my kids involved where I can, and getting your 4-year-old involved in making beer is
slightly frowned upon, maybe.
Yeah, that PLCB doesn't like it. But
They don't need to know.
They can brew it; they just can't drink it.
The best part of it is when I'm doing it, you get whole blueberries. My son absolutely loves blueberries, and he'll eat, I mean, at least a pound of blueberries when we're making it. And so anybody out there's a parent knows when your kids eat lots of blueberries or beets or any other fruits and vegetables that have lots of color in it. It makes
you're talking about poo, aren't you?
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're talking about
blue
poo.
On that note,
we're talking about poo. On that note,
we should drink more beer.
Let's drink more beer.
Let's do more alcohol.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
Round 2, fight.
The panel has slightly rotated yet again, and we have another newcomer to the table.
We have a new face / voice.
New face to us, voice to you. /beard, yes.
Beard.
Wearing a recognizable hoodie that I own a variation of, and the t-shirt. I can already tell you and I are kindred spirits, but we have with us
all of which are things that you can't
give,
see.
You can't give him any props on this, though, because he's not here.
No, he's not.
Well, Wes is here.
Wes is
That's
here.
true.
Wes
is
doesn't
here.
count,
All right,
though.
can we just hold on.
Say the damn name.
I love Wes.
What is your name?
Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Point of clarification: Jeremy is wearing a Hopheads Gear hoodie.
Oh, there
The Hopped in America.
Yeah,
That's what I would have named it, but it's
Captain America.
Captain Hobbs,
It's the official Winter Warrior
Yes,
edition.
that.
Wes from Hopheads is here, but none of the other
love
Hopheads
Wes.
are.
Wes is a
These
good
are all things that
Just
we
don't tell
referenced
Wes we
in the
love
last 2 minutes that our listeners have no idea about. So I just had to clarify all those
Thank you.
points.
I
That
think
was really
they
nice
probably
of you.
could have pieced it together, barring the hoodie part.
Maybe.
But then we mentioned Wes. So anyway,
At
this
least
is-
our local listeners.
This is all assuming that you didn't cut the last 45 seconds out.
Jeremy's joining us for the next tasting segment, which I'm looking forward to because if I'm not mistaken, this will bring us the variations of the tried and true.
But first,
But
there's something else first.
There's two words that I like together: an English porter,
Yes.
The English curse.
English curse, English porter.
So this is an interesting style, and something I learned behind the curtain, off air, is that this beer was rated in like the top 50 in the style
Yep.
on Untapped, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, I love
Props for that.
smell.
It's
spilled beer in my notes.
4.2%, so it's a sessionable beer.
ooh,
Nice.
ooh, that's good.
I haven't tried it
Oh
yet.
wow!
I like that.
Oh, it smells amazing. I love the
delightful.
English style and like the highlighting the roast and the malt, and you don't get that a
Absolutely.
lot in
Yeah, it's
English
all about the
styles.
malts.
I mean, English styles are all about hops and various crazy things like throwing birthday
All right,
cakes into
so
a mash or
speaking of
something.
English styles, I'm gonna call him out now. I've been after him or Carl or Jeremy or whoever can do it. Make me an English bitter. I want an
Yeah.
English
Like a
bitter.
true English.
But
True
you got to put a
English
hand
bitter.
pump in here then.
Yeah.
I want a true English
Working
bitter.
on it. Working on
The,
it.
the hand motion just made that, though.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
the hand pump.
It's
when
like
you, when
a
you say when
a
you say
train horn.
when you say a true
And that's
pump,
not
you gotta
dirty.
do
I
the
mean,
hand
it wasn't a dirty motion. It was
Well,
just,
I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Oh, now she's doing it with the hammer. Now it's dirty. Now it's dirty.
yeah.
Can you share what specialty malts are in this?
Oh my god.
Name them all.
I've never heard of that
Honest
one.
to God, I can't remember them all. So there's Victory, roasted barley. There's a few other secret ingredients I can't tell. Stuff from Brees that's like
Just means he
really
forgot
good.
what they were.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
He's fucking right. I'm sorry.
But it's from Greece.
Midnight Wheat's really good. That's
Did
in
you
it.
say it's from Greece?
Yeah.
Breeze
Brees.
with a B.
Oh. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
He did that
Shit.
on purpose to make
There's-
himself sound stupid.
Honest to God, there's about eight or nine malts in it, so it's actually really complicated, and I honestly cannot remember all of them either.
It's delicious.
It
But
took
you have
me-
them written down,
I do.
so it's fine.
Thank God for
I've done
computers.
Yes, we
I
learned
know,
that you
right?
take copious amounts of notes when you brew, so that's a good thing.
Carl didn't say that, did he?
No.
I didn't think so. Carl's like, no, I do try. So yeah, this batch has actually been brewed a shitload of times, however many times that is. It's a bunch, and so it's one of those beers that you finally get it right, and you don't piss with it. Like you just do it the same over and over and over again, and it's good to go. So finally got it right, nailed it. I really like it. It's one of the favorite beers that I've made so far, at least here. Just because it's so easy drinking, and it's got so much flavor, so much going on. You know, it's funny because people that are not familiar with, just generally darker beers in general, they drink it and it's lots of coffee notes, lots of coffee flavor, and I tell them there's no coffee in it at all, and so people it just blows their mind, like, wow, there's no coffee, so, but yeah, it's been a big hit so far.
This would be great on a hand pump, too.
Yes.
There's the motion again.
The hand pump.
Yep.
Be good
We
for,
actually
for
have,
rolling dice under the table.
So this beer,
Feeding the geese.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, jeez. Some people's kids,
Isn't that point of the night?
It's late in the show, fellas.
Can't keep
it's
nut
late
nice,
in the show.
So we
This
actually
is
have
nutty also.
It is. So we actually have three. I pulled. We have 3 bourbon barrels sitting. Well, they were sitting behind you. they're not anymore. But so we have 3 barrels of it sitting aside that we're gonna pull and bottle. So we'll have a bunch of one-offs. So we'll have them bottled. So designed to last. Drink fresh, drink now, because it's only a 4.2. So just something we wanted to do different. Something that the beer works well with bourbon in general. I mean, there's so much going on that a little alcohol burn to it will meld it together. So yeah.
Speaking of variants,
this would be really good in a barrel.
Speaking of variants, I really want to get to these
3 tried and trues. We have pineapple, lychee, and blood orange. So the first one is going to be the pineapple.
Woo! So do you use fresh, like do you chop your own pineapples?
More hand motions.
Negatory, not these ones. We used real fruit extract. These are all one-offs and one-off kegs that were more or less just experimenting with the flavors so that we can see if it works. And the pineapple is definitely one of the ones they're going to go on, and I'd love to do it with real pineapple. I mean, it's part of it is pineapple, going through a lot of pineapple, you experiment the wrong way, and next thing you know, you spend like $2,000 on pineapple, and it's like a shitty beer. You're like, nah, that's not going to fly. So we started out with extract, and the pineapple is definitely a winner.
I really like this.
A few more than that.
So this is the tried and true, the Belgian wheat ale, which was our first beer after the sipping beer that we tried, which you've done with pineapple, lychee, and blood orange, which we're not going to try. I'm actually curious. I'm going to get a little further down this, and I want to try. I still have some of the soda here.
Nice.
So I want to try different variations of the soda shandy.
That sounds
with
like it would be really good.
So it sounds like that would be.
I think the pineapple works so well with the flavor profile. I get more like the bubblegum notes.
It's radder.
Come out so much more with the pineapple. It's so good.
Yeah, it is more bubblegummy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I like how the pineapple, I don't, Alan, maybe you mentioned it earlier. Somebody said it. It's more subtle. It's not like in your face pineapple. You know it's pineapple, but it's almost like juicy fruit gum.
It rounds out the end, and then, at least to me, I don't know if I'm just imagining it, but I feel like I got a little more fizziness after I had swallowed because of the pineapple. We're just going to leave that out there, aren't we?
Yes.
All right.
Yep. I didn't know how to respond to that.
I didn't either, but yep, sure.
I've got a question about the next one. What is lychee?
It is
a fruit.
Yeah, I don't know much about fruits.
It's a fruit.
It's a fruit. Thank you.
So,
just trying to help out.
Thanks.
Well done.
Is it from Mexico?
That's why I'm here.
Negatory. It's Indian Ocean area of the world. So
it's a fruit that comes from the ocean.
Well, no, it doesn't come from the ocean, but that part of the globe.
Fish come up and deliver it for you.
Oh, for Christ's sake! Some people's kids,
they pick it off of their fish trees. They have groves.
All I know is this: it's got a really cool looking rind to it. That when you pull off the rind, it looks like testicles.
Really?
It does.
Oh boy,
it does.
But it's got this cool appley grape flavor.
It does. It does.
Interesting.
Lychee, fresh lychee. Oh man, they're so good.
It's
hard to get them. It's hard to get them here fresh. Like you're not going to get them fresh. You're going to get them in a can.
Right.
The closest thing that I can say that tastes like that. Have you ever had starfruit?
It's sweeter.
Yes. Yeah.
But sweeter.
It's starfruit has more of a grape flavor. Lychee has more of an apple flavor.
All right, so here we go. It's the tried and true with lychee fruit.
Woo.
Yes.
I've never had
lychee.
I've never had
what part of Pennsylvania you're from, I guess.
Is it actually lychee or is it lychee?
I think it's lychee.
I would say lychee because it's LY.
I think
always thought it
lychee
was
sounds
lychee,
better.
but lychee makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's not a fruit grown in America, so there's a good chance that neither of us are saying it right.
It's probably like lycia or something like that.
Probably.
So, like, what kind of flavor does it bring? Like, I don't want to. I'm going to drink it, but
grape and apple. You said
grape and apple. Is that what it was?
It might be a little muddled by the pineapple that you had before that, but it's more of a grape and apple flavor.
It's definitely it's much more tart.
Yes, able to grapple.
Yes.
And it amplifies the spiciness, like those coriander notes of the base beer.
And it gives it actually, I think, a little more like a pronounced bitterness on the end, which helps it clean up after itself.
Just a tad.
I think I like the pineapple better, but this is good.
This is good. I think I am a little more partial to pineapple.
Well, I think it is true that it's more muted because of the pineapple we just had.
That's true. Yeah.
The pineapple,
doesn't
we
egg
might
up
have got
front,
it out of
though.
order. You know, the pineapple
It all
is
comes
pretty,
in the back end of
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Right.
Pineapple is very upfront, very sweet pineapple right away, and this is more, on the tail.
It's way more aggressive than the lychee. Lychee probably should have been the first one we did, but
oh well, live and learn.
It's still delicious.
The next one's going to be no mistaking what it is. So,
Is it unusual for you to have 3 of these right now available?
well, you know, the one thing that I love experimenting, so I've always tried to do. Right now, it's easy to do at kegging time to do a bunch of one-offs, and so especially with this beer, drinking it as fresh could be is the way to go. So this beer was actually just kegged last Tuesday. So we had, it was myself and Ken were like, all right, hey, we got a bunch of fruit extract. Let's try some experimenting because we want to do full blown batches of this. And we're like, okay, pretty sure the lychee is not going to happen just for a couple of reasons. It's hard to get, and honestly, it's not as good as the others. So, but you don't know until you try it, right? So,
I'm wondering though if maybe because the base beer is quite flavorful.
Sure.
I wonder if you add it to something where the beer is a little more muted,
right?
That perhaps that flavor will come out more.
Well,
it feels like the pineapple can compete.
Sure.
I don't want to say compete, but it can stand up to the base beer a little more.
Yep.
Perhaps.
I agree.
I'm trying to be honest with you because I don't want you to get pissed off at me and say that I'm lying.
He's already.
I work with Jeremy and Alex. You can't piss me off more than that.
How did that line from The Incredible Hulk go? You wouldn't like me when I'm angry?
It's funny when
No, doesn't it
when
go-
Alex is here, I get to hear
Stop.
all about Alan's stuff. Then when Alex isn't here, I get to hear all about how Alex pisses him off.
Right.
And I'm sure when I'm here, I get to hear how.
See, the
Dude, you
truth
should hear
comes
the
out
bad
now.
things.
So-
You should hear all the
both
things
pissed
that
off
Alan
about
says
me.
about you.
Everybody just bitches about whoever's not around.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Okay, fair
It's
enough.
like high school.
That is.
It's
she asked a
always the
question
fault
that's-
of the guy who's not here. Unless everybody's here, it's always Sean's fault.
Or Carson, because he's so charming.
He is so charming. I'm excited for this blood orange.
Yeah,
Yes.
All right, so next one,
Variation.
variation. It's got the aroma for sure.
Definitely.
But this one's a little more tart in the taste, which I love. That adds a lot to the beer because a lot of times and a lot of people say it's a little dry. But I find it a little sweeter. So adding that little tartness adds a little to it. So yeah, that's my favorite of the 3.
No, this one is a little backwards from the other 2. With the other 2, you got the beer and then the fruit. With
Sure.
this one,
This
it's
is
like
orange
it's
up
blood
front.
orange,
Absolutely.
and then
Takes
there's
everything away
the
from
Belgian wit. It comes sort of at the end. It's
And
really
it's
nice.
kind of like the fruit character's kind of in between the other 2. The pineapple was very like fruit, like sweet fruit. The lychee, however you say it, was much more like spicy and bitter, and this is kind of like right down the middle. It's like a little tart, a little sweet, a little citrus, a little grapefruity action going on.
I think of the 3, the pineapple and the blood orange would make it. I know if we use blood oranges at the right time and the right ripeness, you'll get a lot of color variation. So like if you look at these, there's not a lot of color variation. There's a little lighting, a little different. The pineapple's a little lighter in color, but with the blood orange, the color is unbelievable. If you get that right, it can just leave this beautiful, beautiful like pink to reddish color.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to do those both with real fruit and do them sooner than later. Although I know blood oranges, there's 100% certain about it, but there's usually a certain time of the year to get them. So hopefully my assistant or Yukon Cornelius over here can figure out what the hell time that is and make sure I don't screw it up, which is
usually,
generally the approach. I need
I want to
people
say
to
like
help
late summer they come out.
I like what you're doing with this series a lot. Is it takes I don't know how I really want to phrase it, but I like that it's the same beer with different fruits that each,
which is exactly what
I know,
it
shush,
is.
but it highlights so many different aspects of the base beer. The base beer itself was already great, but each one of these brings out different flavors. Where if you didn't know it was like I could be confused and not think these were the same base beer at all.
That's kind of what we try to do with a lot of the beers that we have. I mean, evident in the Russian Imperial.
Yeah, the Lazarus series.
Right.
Yeah, we can bring out
Does a lot.
We make a good solid beer in most cases with our base beer, and what we want to do is we want to bring out different notes in that beer in the different flavors that we do.
Yeah, and Dan, I'm kind of the opposite of you, and I kind of see what Alex is saying here. With each of these, I think a different part of the Belgian wit was accentuated,
right.
And I actually got a nice picture of the Belgian wit throughout, and I thought the different fruits just brought out a different element of that for me.
So I never really thought of it like the way you did, as far as like how it changes the different aspects of the base beer. Typically with beers that you do a lot of different variations of, you don't have a lot of competing flavors in the back end. It's kind of a muted, bland, not bland, but basic functional. Where this never really intended to try to play on that, and it's kind of interesting to think of it that way because, I mean, especially like I said with the blood orange, it's so aromatic, and it's got that on the back end. So I think if I were going to do it again, the whole point of doing these is just to have fun and experiment. Nothing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. I guess. I know. I hate saying that. I say it all the time.
It is what it is. At the end of the day,
if it doesn't work, we blame it on Sean.
Poor Sean.
Wow, fucking Sean, man.
We don't even know Sean.
I know. We haven't.
Sean's
Sorry,
a hell of a
Sean.
nice guy, and he's ill.
He's
sick.
Aw,
He's a
poor
really nice guy.
Sean.
Of course he's
not
sick,
here
so
today.
it's
You
all
guys are
He has the
assholes.
flu.
everything's his fault.
I know what
He
the
has
hell.
the flu.
Well, on this
Well,
note,
he's sick. It's his own fucking
before
fault.
this
Yeah, exactly.
train wreck goes any further,
Yeah, I was just about to.
I just want to
Really?
quickly say that if you would like more information on Boneshire, first of all, come here and hang out with the guys and drink a
course.
beer. But you can go to
Especially on
boneshire.com
a Saturday afternoon.
or Sunday if you just
or
want to hang
Sunday.
out with Carson.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/Boneshire Brew
lovable.
Works, and they are on Twitter at Boneshire _ brews. Be sure to look out for their Mug Club and Growler Club memberships that are coming up. If you don't have Valentine's Day plans yet, call or stop in
Come into
about
the singles table.
awesome,
Yeah, singles
or
mingle.
come all the single ladies table or whatever,
Well, I would first and foremost like to thank you guys that are at the table for having us out here.
and all the others that were at the table.
Absolutely.
And then the
Thank you
others who are
guys.
no longer at the
They're
table.
not
with us.
important anymore.
No, they're not.
No.
They're always important.
Thank you guys. Really, we appreciate
Yeah,
having
Oh,
you.
thanks, man.
It's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad that that you have this array of beers. And the taste that we had at Little Big Beer Fest was just a sampling of it, and here we are. Here we are with a full-blown, wide array of flavors of beers that we have, and the variations with the different fruits on the Tried and True series. You guys are doing a hell of a job.
We're going to be
Thanks.
at Little Big Beer again, so you'll see.
So
us
we
there.
will
there as
see
well.
you there
We will be
Yeah.
there as well, yeah.
on
Love
stage
to see you guys.
where we
Yeah.
belong.
Well, I also want to thank Audible for their continued support. Audibletrial.com/beerbusters. You can go and peruse the library, download, listen to, keep your own audiobook. You might be able to share it. It's in your cloud. You're never getting rid of that stuff.
Give your
But
eyes a break.
Give your eyes a break, but not your ears.
Yeah, and if you're crazy enough to give us money, you can go to patreon.com/beerbusters and learn how to become a patron and support the podcast and get cool behind-the-scenes perks. Check it out, patreon.com/beerbusters.
Exactly.
We also have some awesome events coming up. Saturday, April 29th, of course, is Little Big Beer Fest, which we are all very, very excited about. Saturday, May 20th, is the 3rd annual Schuylkill County Brew Fest,
Nice.
which we love. And recently announced Sunday, May 28th, is the latest installment of Dogs and Brews at our favorite Reading Public Museum. So check them out.
Can I throw in a plug here?
Please.
Absolutely.
All right, the guy who did our mural, if you guys are ever here and you want to see the mural and you guys want to have that done, let us know. It's done by my friend Jimmy Campbell. He lives in Fishtown.
Hey!
The man is amazing
We love Fishtown.
with a spray can and a paintbrush.
Nice.
right.
There you go. Jimmy Campbell?
Jimmy Campbell.
Jimmy
Do you have a
Campbell
website
from
or anything?
Fishtown.
Google Jimmy
Google
Campbell
Jimmy
Fishtown.
Campbell, Fishtown.
Or just call
murals.
Boneshire and
Or
ask
call
for Alex.
Boneshire and we'll ask for Alex
Make
and I'll
sure
get
you
you
ask
I'll get
for
you his information.
Alex.
Awesome. Cool.
Very cool indeed. It pains me to have to hit this button, but sadly, this brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Buster. Seriously, guys, thank you for having us out.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.
Cheers to you.
Absolutely.
And you guys, and you guys, and you guys, and you guys.
The rest
And the
of
other
the-
1,700 people that were on the show.
Exactly. So if you find yourself in Harrisburg, come out to Boneshire. Hell of a time, great beers, and just awesome environment all around. Well, I'm Dan Baker, joined, as per the usual, by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Huffner.
We can't forget the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
No squids were harmed in this particular episode of Beer Busters, but we'll maybe next time.
We'll try harder next time.
Try so much harder, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, jeez. Look, I don't know if you're trying to make fun of me, but I am goddamn charming.